Other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GOLD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GOLD for 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fill up.
Insurance companies often discourage people from getting an attorney. If I can't get you more, even after our fee, then you owe us nothing, not even our costs. I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA 21-12670. Offices in Baton Rouge.
WNXX, Jackson, KNXX, Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Friday, September 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 97. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Yeah! Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? September 1st, 2023. Fall is here, and football is here. As, we suffered our first heartbreak last night. It wasn't all a bad night. It was awesome.
Yeah. We cannot hang our heads when Florida looked that bad.
But that was your TV game, and Nebraska was your cell phone game. For me, the hub was the TV game, and Florida was the cell phone game.
Well, to be fair, DirecTV, get your ish together. You're disputing with Fox. It's football season.
Yeah,
what are we
crazy.
doing? I had to watch an illegal stream on my phone in the year of our Lord 2023 because you've got a dispute with Fox and NBC. So there's going to be a banger on NBC. Well, maybe not. West Virginia's not very good, but a whiteout that I'm going to miss too.
Yeah, I got thoughts on that. Tight B-hole move by Penn State wasting the whiteout on West Virginia. They got Iowa and Michigan coming to town later this year. Like, I understand not doing it against Michigan because you don't want to lose a whiteout, but I actually believe the whiteout's one of those few traditions that has legitimate power. Also, the Michigan game's at noon, the Iowa game's at night. Why are you going whiteout against West Virginia at night? The only thing, and I said this on Snaps yesterday, and nobody liked this joke, so I'm going to try it again.
Here we go.
The only thing that I like about it is when Penn State wins, if they dominate, the headline should read, "The Wild and Wonderful Whiteout of West Virginia." Does anybody get that? Nobody's seen the documentary, Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia? Shake the pill bottle, West Virginia mating call. Nobody's seen this? This was a big deal back in the day.
Nope.
It used to be culturally relevant. Whatever, dude. This is the same exact reaction I got yesterday. It's an awful joke. I guess it's an awful joke. You know what? I've tried it out on like 6 different people now, and not one has gotten it. Whatever. It's a good documentary. Y'all should watch it. Anyway, we're going to dive into last night's games. We'll break those down. I do want to do what I'm calling a trust tree fear session, where we kind of, we're not going to have any judgment. We're going to come together, and we're going to honestly talk about the thing that concerns us the most about Sunday night.
Okay.
And then the other three can maybe try to like pump us up or allay said fears. We'll continue to talk LSU, Florida State, like peppered throughout the entire show. But where do we want to start? Do we want to start with Corn Hub heartbreak or Florida just being complete dog poo?
I think we can start with the heartbreak of the Corn Hub because Florida, honestly, okay, it happened. But that's exactly what we thought was going to happen. And all these people at the 11th hour tried to change everybody's minds like, oh, Graham Mertz in practice and CD.
He threw for 330.
Don't worry. Wednesday, we will have a discussion. But it's like, no, that was always going to be a bad football team. So we will wax poetically about how bad they look, but we were all in on the Corn Hub.
We were, and it's I got a lot of texts like, well, at least they covered, but
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
No, it wasn't just you. You had Capage as well, but like, no, I was on the money line. Like, I knew Nebraska was going to win that game. I just absolutely knew it, and yet, unfortunately, despite it, and this is the great problem with this game, if you're a Husker fan, is that it is a better product. Like, objectively, it is a better product. That was a team that showed mental toughness, right? To end the first half, eating that combination to the face that you did, and then come out the second half and immediately go score a touchdown big time.
Yep.
A defense that in the past just completely wilts as the offense get going, was very bend but don't break. Like, Minnesota did a pretty good job moving the ball, but once they got close, Nebraska was making plays and shutting them down. The toughness was there, solid special teams. So again, like, there is a lot of good, but no Nebraska fans are going to want to hear it because in the end, it's the same exact thing. It's another one-score loss in which you had a lead late and you gave away a game that you had no right giving away. You had a 95 win probability at one point. And I mean, and the breaks, there's just so many brutal moments. At the end of the first half, you have a play that actually scores.
Yeah.
They say doesn't, then they review it, not a touchdown. It only got reviewed because after you didn't score, you ran a hurry-up QB sneak, which would have scored, but you jumped off sides. And then you threw a pick on the next play to end the first half. Well, that's okay. Like I said, you bounce back, you show toughness, you come back, you score to take the lead in the second half. You're playing great defense. The offense is starting to roll. Remember, Matt Rule said he wants to rush for 75 yards in the fourth quarter. He wants to wear teams down and start gashing at the end, and they were. 5 minutes left. Great first down run. Anthony Johnson breaks tackles back. He's got 5 yards. He fumbles. And then you do have to credit the opponent. The touchdown catch to tie the game was an absolute thing of beauty. I mean, you want to talk about the old cheesy, how can you not be romantic about football?
Mm-hmm.
On 4th and 10, that cat in the corner of the end zone, defying gravity, hitting the Jordan pose, keeping his front leg up while getting that toe on the ground, mere centimeters between winning and losing, a literal game of inches. That, I got goosebumps. That was truly beautiful.
I don't know that I've ever seen a play quite like that, like a guy keep his feet in bounds like that. Now, we've seen toe taps. We have seen just incredible catches, but the way that he did it, you're right, Jordan Brand logo is exactly what it was, and it's a hell of a route, too. It was a nice whip route. I mean, he sold it. So when you're running a whip route, like the main portion of it is obviously breaking back out. But if you don't sell the end portion, the DB is going to be waiting on you. He's going to laugh at you trying to get a whip route on him, but he did exactly what you have to do.
And look, the Greek rifle, Calic Manis didn't have a great night, but he made the throw there, and his receiver made him right, somehow keeping that front foot up. So again, it's always, anytime you lose a close game, it's not just because you screwed up, right? But the point is, Nebraska's errors, which were unforced, opened the door. And then Minnesota made the most of those opportunities. They deserve credit, right? So then the game's tied 10-10, but it's okay. Nebraska's still driving. They're at midfield. It looks like, okay, maybe they can go set up for a field goal away. They want the 4th turnover of the night. And even down to, Jake, the last play from scrimmage, not the field goal, where it's like a 57-yard field goal. They run a little zone read, and you let him make it into like a 47?
Yeah.
Like a 10-yard gain. I feel comfortable saying this. Nebraska definitely outplayed Minnesota on the whole, but just had the biggest error, had bigger crucial errors than did Minnesota. And in the end, that's the difference in the game.
I thought it was as well. Just finding a way to close the game, finding a way to finish the game, those little small plays that you have to make sure that you still have the full focus, attention to the small details that it takes to win a game. And it's a tough fumble, but you got to know when you break that many tackles, someone's coming from behind and going to knock that ball out. As a running back, they teach you that. Like, hey, if you have a nice run where you start to break some tackles, know that guy is going to come back and he is going to try to strip the football. And it's just like high and tight, just little nuances that Nebraska's still not quite there yet. Like, I agree with you. On the route and the toe tap, like, there was nothing you can do. it was a really nice job by that guy running that route. I don't even blame the DB. Hell, I fell for it on the phone. I'm sitting there like trying to cover him on the phone. But it's the things like the 10 yards you gave up. It's a 57-yarder, okay? Like, you cannot allow a 10-yard rush right there. And you can't allow the sideline throws that they were allowing for Minnesota to get in position.
Too easy to when they have it.
You're supposed to do the complete opposite. You guard the sidelines. You know they're trying to get out of bounds, and they were giving them 7 yards of space between the defender and the sideline. It was like, here, take this 7-8 yards and get out of bounds.
So here's where it all becomes so painful again for the Husk Hive, is that this is exactly the thing. I mean, you couldn't write it more painfully, because the thing you're talking about, a lack of attention to detail, situational failures in the fourth quarter, is what has plagued this team for like 3 years now. It's the exact, it was the only consistent piece of the Scott Frost era. It was the main focus of Matt Rule the entire offseason. And it sucks, because the other like core pillars of focus for Rule were things like developing toughness, running the ball, executing at a higher level. They did all of that. Only those just absolutely crucial, can't have him errors. Well, the song remained the same. And so in the end, you have Nebraska fans who are trying to do the mental gymnastics of, I saw some good things, but this feels all too familiar. But it's not familiar because it's a new coach, and like, he's going to be better. And I still think that. I still believe that. But it's real easy to kind of throw your hands up and say, same old crap, different day.
Yeah, because good teams find a way just like bad teams do. And close loss stat is not a favorite of mine. I don't like it, because, T-Bob, you played a long time. I played a long time. Bad teams just find a way to lose games. And, it did look better. But it's like, can you get the things that we saw in week 1 fixed in this season? I still think Matt Rule is going to get those things fixed. I'm way more confident in him than I ever was with Scott Frost. But it's like, how is that happening again? You have brand new staff, a lot of new players, but it was the same ways that you were losing games over the last couple of years.
Well, it sucks, because Jeff Sims is simultaneously your best path to winning and the engine and the fuel of your offense, but he's also the telephone pole that you drove straight into, right? Like, Jeff Sims is a bit of a paradox coming out of game 1 for Nebraska, where if you don't have him, you don't have anything offensively. But it was his just like really elementary bad mistakes that end up costing you the game.
Yeah, the last interception that he threw, I'm sitting there watching the game. Did I let my boy stay up a little bit too late? Probably so, but we're watching the game together, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And Jack's like, what are you doing? I was like, he can't throw that. Like, you guys see that safety. And when you stare that receiver down who's coming on that 18-yard dig route, and that safety's got a C on his jersey right here because he's a captain.
Those are good DBs. Even losing the town, those are good DBs.
You can't do that. Like, you don't make that throw even if you did a good job of looking him off over to the left. You stare him down, and then you throw that into that coverage, that's going to get intercepted every single time.
Yeah, it was, again, elementary reads from I
have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure it was basic. Like, you're playing one safety high, cover one, man. The guy's trailing in the hip of the dig route. The safety, the only safety there, is playing cover one, and he's coming down and breaking on that and picks it off.
Yeah. I mean, the one right before half, too, was just, again, staring down, never saw. Was it the linebacker dropping in coverage? I don't know. Like, the diving one, okay, whatever. That was kind of tight. You're getting tackled. You try to throw it. I get that. But the one right before half and the one at the end of the game, just brutal and, quite frankly, inexcusable. But, something to improve on. So, make no mistake, T-Cobb is hurting today, but the crop is not ruined. Okay, I saw a lot of toughness, saw a lot of good fullback play. I saw a lot of good defense. I don't know how good Minnesota is, so, I don't want to draw too much from the good, but I still believe in this Husker team. Unfortunately, 7-6 feels a lot harder to do after letting that one slip by.
You were going to start 4-0 if you won this one.
Yeah.
I fully believed you were going to start 4-0 if you won this game, and I don't know that you could have gotten to 8. But my God, you could have got to 7. And 7 after winning 4 last year and going back to a bowl, which you still have an opportunity. Going to a bowl, in my opinion, was the goal. It's been a long time.
Bowl's the goal.
You got to get to a bowl game. You were going to start 4-0 if you won this game. And so now you got to try to not let this loss become 2 losses.
Other thoughts that I had, I actually think Minnesota's uniforms are my favorite in the country. I've always it's one of those thoughts that I guess has always been in the back of my head, but I never quite realized it. Watching last night, I was struck by, I love these colors. I love everything about their visuals. I also, another thing that I always knew, but had never quite spoken out loud, is that PJ Fleck is just a Rob Corddry character. The guy from Hot Tub Time Machine,
Yes.
Harold and Kumar,
Yes.
from what was the old Jon Stewart show? Why am I blanking right now? The Daily Show. The Daily Show. Yes, like PJ Fleck, when he had those Oakleys on, those matching Oakleys, and he's like chomping his gum. He has he looks like him, but he has the same energy.
Yeah.
Like I can see a Rob Corddry character be like, row the boat, nah, nah, nah.
Yeah.
The guy in Ballin' with The Rock.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right?
What
Is
happens
that
in
not
Vegas with Ashton Kutcher?
Yeah, because Ashton Kutcher's like best friend and lawyer. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
So shout out PJ Fleck though, and again, I don't want to. Obviously, I'm approaching this from the Corn Hub standpoint because I like Matt Rule, I always have, and I really think Nebraska's going to be good again. But credit to Minnesota, that catch, making the plays when it mattered. Like you didn't necessarily play well on a play-to-play basis, but you made the biggest plays when you had to do it, and that's winning football, like Jake talked about, as opposed to losing football, which you saw out of Nebraska. When we get back, we could switch over. We start to make fun of Florida again, loser football, and celebrate Utah winning football. We still got a ton of LSU talk coming up. Massive news out of the ACC that will break down.
It feels
later.
like an AAC story.
So Ross Dellinger went ahead and tweeted out, it is confirmed the ACC going to add Cal, SMU, and is it Stanford?
Yeah.
No, it is Stanford.
Yeah.
So poor Oregon State.
Yeah, I know.
Still
The
just out
bees.
there.
The bees.
Nobody wants any beaver. Unbelievable. Not normally the case.
Yeah.
When we
Usually
get back-
undefeated.
I know, right? When we get back, 10-3. More OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. Look, I thought I could guarantee a Husker money line, but at the end of the day, you can't guarantee anything in gambling. What I can feel comfortable guaranteeing you is you don't gamble when you go get your vehicle from All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. And I don't care if you're buying new, you're leasing, you're just looking to rent. You want to try some stuff out. Maybe you have a number that you're comfortable with. Maybe you've got a little cash to spend. Maybe you're trading in. I don't care. The point is, whatever your needs are, whatever your family situation is, price, whatever, the answer is there for you right off of Airline Highway at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. So go check them out today, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
If you made a last-minute trip to Orlando because you're getting excited about college football season, don't worry. Like, if you need something to take to Orlando, you can go rent that Toyota today. Still, like, they'll be there, and you still have time to do so. So if you want to get something bigger, smaller, hybrid, like whatever, everything's available. allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele returns. We're previewing LSU, Florida State. Join us 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Mario's been waiting. He's been waiting days. Like this last 4 days, he's been waiting.
We made it.
He's wanted to hit that button.
I wish y'all could have seen the footwork taking place down here.
I felt it.
Because in these boots, ooh, you can really boot scoot and boogie.
He was new boot goofing.
You couldn't,
maybe you saw it, but you couldn't hear it. He was new boot goofing.
God, it feels so good.
There's gonna be some dancing Sunday night after LSU wins.
Hell yeah!
For my boy T-Bob.
Hell yeah! New boot goofing going down this Sunday at Don Juan. Daniel Basham asking, what car would Judas drive? A Mazda Miata.
No doubt. Convertible.
Without a doubt. Little punk. I dare you to step through that door right now and get these hands, son. I'm already pissed off at the corn hub. Much less what you did to the silicon. 30 silver talents. May not have been 30 talents. Maybe it was 30 pieces of silver. I think a talent's way more in ancient currency. Welcome back, OTB. September 1st.
Oh, yeah.
And the Florida Gators are hot garbage. Hot, stinking, putrid, rotten flesh garbage.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. We talked a lot about Cam Rising, and how do you pronounce the badass tight end's name? I've been avoiding it because I can't remember how to pronounce it. You might remember the guy that tore up Florida last year.
Bob, baby, it's a boy.
Well, either way, I knew they were out. I didn't realize, though, and now reading some postmortems of this game, that Utah was down 8 starters.
Yes. Yep.
Down 8 starters total, including at the most important position on the field. Oh, by the way, Barnes was actually third string during camp until a freshman quarterback got hurt, which pushed him back up to second string. And I love Barnes, man. You talk about, like, if you want to go full old man and be like, this is what college football is about. Barnes of the Cat is a Utah high school legend, set all the records. He goes to Utah. He sticks around. He's not playing. He falls third string. He sticks around. He continues to be like, you know what? I'm gonna be there when my team needs me. And even though he's pushed all the way down to third string to start his junior year, he ends up getting the nod in front of a packed house, whole country watching Thursday night. And my man steps out there and starts the game with a 70-yard touchdown. That's called toughness. That's called overcoming adversity.
Yes. And you know what also that is? That's culture.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything that you just said, they have a culture there where people don't leave. They stay. And it doesn't, like, okay, you had a quarterback who ended up having to come into this game and had to be the guy, a big reason why you won the game because Cam Rising was out. Well, that guy played last year. He started a game against Washington State. He also played and led them, as T-Bob mentioned yesterday, on a touchdown drive against Ohio State in a Rose Bowl. That guy doesn't stay anywhere else.
No.
He's like, I got a taste of it, man. I can go be the guy somewhere else instead of waiting my turn. But not there. They stayed there. The culture there and the identity and knowing who they are, it might be better than anywhere in the country. They're not the best team, but the culture and the identity of that team is why they are who they are.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's how you go down 8 starters and you come out and you do that. And you dominate a Florida team. I mean, and I know it's not fair to compare Billy Napier to Kyle Whittingham because Kyle Whittingham's a top 10 coach in the entire country and Billy Napier is not, but it's really hard not to draw those conclusions. And I know that, look, Whittingham's been at Utah way longer and Napier's been in Florida. I understand all of these things, but what you saw last night could not have felt more different in terms of culture. Like, that Whittingham has built Utah to the point where they can be down 8 starters and they truly embrace that next man up mentality and they execute the game plan at a high enough level where they can go out there and dominate an SEC opponent that is objectively more talented than them for whatever that means, especially on those starters, right? Like, that is from a just pure recruiting NFL prospect standpoint, that is a more talented Florida team, but you would have never guessed from actually watching that football game. And I think for Florida, Jake, a couple of things. First, they quit in the same way that they quit against Oregon State.
Yep.
And secondly, which again, that's like Nebraska effed up, but they never quit, right? Like Nebraska like showed toughness, fight throughout the entire thing. Florida quit again. And secondly, Napier doesn't have to win that game, but it can't look that bad.
No.
Especially not in the context of what Utah was missing.
You can't be out Cam Rising, your starting quarterback. Brent Keithy is who the tight end that we're trying to find a little bit earlier. He torched you last year, and he's out of the game.
Yeah.
So, like, we could go across the board. One of their best defensive players out of the – we could talk about guy for guy, but when the player that torched you last year, one of the best tight ends in the country, one of the more veteran, top 15-like quarterbacks in Cam Rising, certainly top 5 leader at his position, is out. You can't look like that. You can get beat. You can get beat 28-24, great game. You were efficient. You were 1 for 13 on third down. Like, every way that we look at this game, you were bad. Yep. You missed opportunities. When you had guys open, you overthrew them. You laid down, and you let the physicality of Utah make you tap out.
You tap.
That to me cannot happen. I don't care who you are. I don't care if I hired you, if I did. I would, if I'm the athletic director and I saw that 2 games in a row, man, I would probably do some things that were off the cuff because I would be that mad.
Yeah, well, I mean, and so that's kind of the point, right? Like, we spent an entire offseason, everybody's telling us, oh, they're not, Billy Napier's not in trouble, Billy Napier's not in trouble. That's how you get in trouble. Losing like you did last night. I mean, if you just want to run down, again, this is just awful football all around. 1 of 13 on third downs. You missed a 31-yard field goal. You have an illegal substitution on a punt that keeps a drive alive, which leads to 7. Immediately start the second half. You throw an interception inside like your own 5. Oh, yeah. First you field a punt inside your own 5. Then you throw the pick. Then you go up another touchdown. You had 3 penalties when faced with a 3rd and 1 or a 4th and 1. I mean, no phase of the game showed any discipline or any execution. I would be furious and sad if I was a Florida Gator fan.
The penalty on having 2 number 3s out there made me angry.
Oh, yeah,
as someone who
awful.
wanted Utah to be successful in the game, I got so mad. And this is going to be like old man yelling at the clouds. It's going to be the old Coastal Carolina. I'm looking in the mirror. I got my bands on. It's going to be that, okay? I understand a single-digit school. I get it. If there's any opportunity for you to be on the field at the same time, I know that you promise players numbers and you're trying to make them happy and stay. And you get the fact that they got a penalty that led to a touchdown because they had 2 guys that felt like they had to have number 3. And one guy's named Trey. He's the 3rd. I get it. It makes sense. But it's not going to keep me off the field. If I wasn't able to wear number 18, if that would have never happened, I wore 13 in high school, okay? So some of the first conversations before the whole 18 deal came up, I wore 13. I love 13. Dan Marino, man. I wore it from when I wore a neck roll and a flag all the way until I went through high school, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I had it on. Well, when Coach Dahl called, he's like, hey, we got Corey Webster who wears 13, but you can wear it on offense. I was like, C-Web's a corner, so he might be on punt return. He might be on special teams just because, like, if it's safe or anything. I was like, well, I don't want to miss out on a play because Corey Webster's out there wearing number 13. A play is way more important than what number you wear. That got my blood pressure up last night and then they score a touchdown off of it.
It's just like nothing more falls directly at the feet of the coaches than that.
Nothing. You got to have a chart. You got to know. And they're like, well, he was supposed to have a 33 jersey on. And I'm sure they're going to blame the equipment staff. That ain't on the equipment staff. That's on you giving 2 guys who might be on the field at the same time the same number.
You're not seeing any of the top 10 coaches in the country make a mistake.
No.
None of their teams are making that mistake. And that's not by accident, I love this text from my boy Pat Gunther, part of Team Snaps. He says, Napier and his Napoleonic armada of 300 assistants locking and loading 5 stars that they have no idea what to do with is so funny to me. He does have a Napoleonic armada of just a million people out there, but not one could catch the fact that they were putting 2 number 3s out at the same time.
I mean, they've got more blue polos than anybody that I've ever seen in America. They probably spent a third of the athletic budget just on the polos alone, and you have a coordinator of game-changing moments. Remember we clowned them for that? It was like coordinator of game-changing something.
Well, yeah, how else are you going to respond when Utah opens at home with a 70-yard touchdown? You got to get your coordinator of game-changing moments to get the team to handle.
You don't have a guy that has a chart in front of him. Hey, if fella 1 and fella 2 are on the field at the same time, fella 2 has got to wear number 33.
I mean, they just don't give them the same number. Like you said, it's actually very simple to solve. You just don't give them the same number.
Even my family's like, hey, you good? I'm like, y'all don't understand. Like, the game was lost there. Like, think of how, momentum. Like, you get them off the field, they punt to you, and you get a penalty like that, and they go score.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that made it, 14-3?
Yeah.
Still, ooh.
And then they open the second half.
You got to look in the mirror, too. That's on the coaching staff. Do not blame the equipment staff. That ain't on them. They gave you the jerseys that you were supposed to switch to.
So rough look for Billy Napier, who, I mean, again, it's crazy because, first off, on a personal level, he was always super awesome off the bench. He used to come on weekly, and he did a hell of a job at UL, which is a very hard school to win at. And so I don't fault the idea behind the original hire, but it just looked, last night was an awful night for trying to say it's going to work out.
I agree with Billy Napier. I really do. I honestly think he's a good football coach. But you can kind of tell if something's going to work or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they're like, well, we got it coming in the future. It's coming in the future, recruiting. And they're doing big things. But
this
from
team
now,
has talent too, though.
They do.
It's the problem.
They certainly do. But from now until December, Do you think if I'm a recruit and I look up and I see what I saw last night that I'm going to keep that commitment?
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to get some. You ain't going to get all of them.
Yeah. And then if you're a Florida fan, I mean, are you still not just kicking yourself that you ran Dan Mullen out of town? I know you're probably doing the mental gymnastics where you're not because you're going to say, oh, he wasn't recruiting, he wasn't doing this or that. Why didn't you just commit to Mullen and build him the facilities? Like Napier's finally the time when you decide to open the checkbook. Like, you missed. You had one of the good ones, one of the really, really good ones. And now he's chilling on Lake Oconee doing 360s on his wake surf.
The love and life.
Oh, man. So,
although he did pick Florida State yesterday, so,
tough time to be a Gator fan, but an incredible time to be a Gator hater. I could feel Jake's glee through the text messages during the game last night.
And I get to go on with CD in about 2 hours from now. Now, it's more of a debate session with EJ Manuel, but I'm going to get my Florida shots in.
I think EJ probably will too.
Actually, EJ and I were texting through the game about Florida.
Yeah, I think everybody's going to get their Florida shots
poor CD.
today.
Poor CD.
It's been a rough summer for CD, dude. He looks great, though.
He does. He looks
That's
good.
all that matters.
Yeah.
All right, when we get back, let's get to our Trust Tree Fears. Now we'll switch to a little LSU, FSU. Boys, I want you all to, we're going to be honest when we get back. We're going to tell you the thing that worries you most about Sunday. Coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Okay, you want a program that has done it before, that has been there, that is not overawed by the moment, that does not lack in execution. You want Central Plumbing. They've been at this thing for 50 years, y'all. And the only way you stand the test of time and last half a century and grow in the way that they have is if your customers, the businesses you work with, are consistently satisfied. Remember, it's not just residential. They always talk about that. Commercial, you got an office building, something you need all your plumbing team met. They got the insurance paperwork and personnel to do so. So what are you waiting for? When you overthink it, don't overthink it. Just call or go to centralplumbing.org.
I really thought you were going to do this in a country accent since you had the boots on, but it's okay. I'll save us with the solo.
No,
say now, hey, Central Plumbing. Go to centralplumbing.org.
Yes,
That
sir.
phone number 225-925-8552 for all your plumbing needs. Don't try to do it by yourself. Why'd you do that?
Tell them, Bo.
Just pick up the phone and give them a call one more time, 225-925-8552.
You got excited. Taylor's getting.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco, voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to Six Rings Baseball.
Son, join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com and my pick on LSU Florida State. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I had a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. She was killing me in that mini skirt. Skipping rocks on the river by the railroad tracks. She had a suntan line and red lipstick. I worked so hard for that first kiss, and a heart don't forget, something like that.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Marlon, Taylor hanging out with you today. Do a little trust tree here, guys. No judgment.
Okay.
Try to allay each other's fears. When it comes to Sunday, LSU, FSU, what worries you most? For me, it's obvious. I've been talking about it.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
It is that FSU offense, the weapons matching up against the secondary, and them starting to find a rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And can you disrupt that rhythm?
Yeah.
Because we don't know really who's coming off the edge or how good LSU is going to be coming off the edge. There's going to be no Mason Smith helping the edge with that interior pressure.
Right.
And the DBs are the biggest question mark on the team, whereas Florida State's receivers are one of the strengths of their team. So that remains my biggest fear.
All right, I'll go away from that because that's a concern.
But what should we do? I mean, you got to make me feel better, though. Give me
I have to be your therapist?
Yeah, I think we do like a sunshine pumping, like, okay, but here, let me tell you why you shouldn't be scared.
Okay. If you look at what LSU can do as far as the schematics of it, and you can pay attention to the receivers that you're worried about a little bit. I know the one that you've talked about the most is Johnny Wilson, and you can shade your coverage to him, and you try to use your best matchups to have, hey, you got to be one-on-one, Zay Alexander, whoever it's got to be on the other side of it. You can shade coverage over there. You can be creative with Harold Perkins, with Omar Speights. They're going to pay so much attention to Harold Perkins. And let's not forget, Omar Speights can also get after the quarterback on a blitz if you need him to. And so through the schematics of the defense, you can come up with a game plan that confuses them just by saying, hey,
trust
everybody here, number four,
trust
number four, and everybody, and they send all their protection to who? 4 down and number 4, Harold Perkins. Well, then you drop him into coverage. He's certainly athletic, and that's the thing. Most times when you have a guy like that who you're always going to point to, and we used to do it with whoever, like Green Bay would walk Clay Matthews out. Well, 52, he's going to be Mike, or who? Julius Peppers, like whoever it was, like we were always going to. Well, Harold Perkins has the rush ability, but he's also one of the fastest people in the field.
Mm-hmm.
So he can do whatever you need him to do in coverage, and that's unique to him, to his skill set, because a lot of times you'll slide your coverage to a bigger body, a guy that you don't ever want ending up on a running back. But if you slide it to him and he drops, here comes Omar Speights, or here comes whoever, Major Burns off the edge as well. Well, you have Harold Perkins who can cover almost anybody on the field for Florida State. They're not going to be a better athlete than he is. And so if you get creative in that way and almost make them, number 4 right in the middle of the defense, hey, you got to declare me the Mike. And so for those listening out there, most of you know, but if you don't, that means the offensive line is going to be responsible for the 4 down linemen and Harold Perkins. Now, if Harold Perkins doesn't come, then the offensive line usually helps and chips and, have a double team situation. But I mean, you can put him in the A-gap tee, drop him into coverage after that, and then once you do that, all hell breaks loose. It's, for me, if you're not getting home just by straight-up rush, then it falls on you to be creative with a top 5 player, I think, in all of college football, to be not a decoy, but make sure that they point to him.
And I think Matt House is capable of doing that. It's one of my great things that I look for. It's one of my great kind of things that I'm like, okay, this is how you overcome that relative weakness. Cortland Jacob says the frontline DB should find Chestnut was all ACC, and we're playing an ACC team. That's true. Actually, Juice Chestnut, I think, shut down Johnny Wilson last time he played him, right?
We looked at it, and Wilson had a touchdown in that game, but he had like 3 catches for 26 yards or something like that. Like, he had a short touchdown, but it wasn't really a big game for him.
Okay. So we spent so long explaining that one away. Why don't we go?
That's my fault.
No, that's good. That was good explanation. That's what I need to hear. Like, I feel way more confident than I did 5 minutes ago. So let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll continue the trust tree. See, Gulf South says, T-Bob's so scared of FSU, he definitely needs to go to church on Sunday. Gulf South, that's not trust tree behavior, okay? This is a judgment-free zone, okay? You bring your problems to the fore, and the boys help you feel better. That's what we're doing here. More next on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
LSU is going to look to get it done on Sunday. If only playing a major football game was like getting in an accident and needing somebody to fight for you, because then LSU could just call 225-888-8888 and get the win and get it done, because that's what Gordon does. You get Gordon, they get it done. 225-888-8888. Congratulations to all who entered the Billboard contest. Cannot wait to see the final winners. Remember, though, there's always great promotions, everything else, great content for the G team, all your favorite athletes going on wherever you can find Gordon on social media at Get Gordon. So get it done today, Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a sit down with Mason Smith right now that's worth checking out. But you also can go to the website, getgordon.com, and we tell you every single day, if you're looking to find a list of cases they can handle for you, past client results, or even have a chat right there on the website, you can do all that again at getgordon.com. T-Bob mentioned it, handle on all social media at getgordon. Area code in Louisiana, followed by the 8s, 888-8888.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up and down on my last dime. Call in Baton Rouge. Operator, what you put me on through? Gotta send my love down the
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of Front to Back Boat Service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele returns. We're previewing LSU Florida State. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, Trust Tree, who's up next?
I'll go. One of my biggest worries is kind of what I actually just tried to fix your worry with a little bit. If you look at the game plan, you're like, man, I just don't know if we have the corners, and they've got these receivers. And then you start to do too much in coverage and not enough to stop the run game. And Benson, now you shut him down last year. He did not have a good game against you. He had a good season, but against you, he was not great.
No.
But you pay too much attention to what they can do through the air. And then you start to try to get extra help from extra bodies. And maybe you put a DB on the field, you take a linebacker off, and then they make enough plays through the air. But also Trey Benson goes off a little bit, controls the clock, and starts – because last year they had a period where they were hitting those 8-yarders every time they ran the ball. Then you adjusted to it, and it went away. But you can't pay so much attention to what they can do through the air and the receivers and where you think might be your weakness through the DBs, and you play a little soft, and you allow them to run the football, control the clock, keep the ball away from your biggest strength, which is your offense.
Yeah, look, I think that, if I was going to allay those fears, it was that, nobody knows that better than Matt House, right? Nothing makes a quarterback more comfortable than a running game that is hitting. So goal number one has to be, again, to not make the running game easy, to not let Travis Benson rip off 7-8 yards run like he did consistently. Not against LSU, but, again, consistently last year for the most part. And to make Jordan Travis beat you. Now, what we figured out last year is Jordan Travis is capable of beating you when you make him, but that's still the best path. What you don't want is the running game to hit like Jake is talking about, and then you're just playing catch-up on both sides. They're not one-dimensional, and then they can really, really take off. So, yeah, I'm not overly concerned about that because and when it comes to okay, I don't know about pass rush, but I know I love Savion Jones setting the edge in terms of run defense. Right? I know I love Omar Spates coming downhill, plugging the gaps. I love Mekhi Wingo in that role. So I feel pretty good about that. Nookie says, what am I most nervous about? Auburn version Jaden Daniels. And then going on and say Texas A&M, Arkansas, first half FSU. Just basically saying when you had great Heisman caliber Jaden Daniels, you had bad Jaden Daniels last year.
That was going to be mine when we got to me. Look, we've heard that he's improved his downfield passing. It is one of those things we still have to see. I understand this is a different coaching staff. At times at practice, he's looked really good at it. At times it's been a little hit or miss. And like they mentioned, there was a lot of good against Power 5 opponents last year. But there was a fair share of bad mixed in as well. I have confidence in Jaden Daniels. But again, it's one of those things where it's we really do have to see it come together.
Yeah, look, I think you saw massive improvement last year. I think he entered the offseason as the guy. He has a more stable and a better environment in terms of the quality of the coaching as well than he's ever had before. More time on task with the receivers, a better offensive line, There's a million reasons why he should be able to accomplish a goal. And it's not like we talked about yesterday. It's not just launching it downfield. They need to get the ball to playmakers in space. Take advantage of this wide receiver group. Mario, what are you worried about?
My biggest concern is Jordan Travis kind of improvising, getting out the pocket after LSU plays good defense. I think the last 3 season openers, LSU hasn't really tackled well. Like, think back to the Mississippi State game, 2020. They broke a bunch of tackles. 2021, Marvin Gaye and Charbonnet ran all over them. And then last year, they had a lot of sacks on Jordan Travis that he got out of. So they need to wrap him up in particular, but they just need to tackle better than they have in the last few season openers.
And that's probably, again, Hercules, right? Best QB spy in the nation. If you had to go that route?
He did it to Bryce Young when nobody else could do it to Bryce Young. Again, the game plan on defense is going to be so crucial in this one, because what do you do? What's your point of emphasis? What do you do with Perkins and Spates in the middle of the defense, and how that all comes together is going to be as important as any storyline, because you have the ability, because you have a guy that can do a lot of different things, but you have to make sure that he can do whatever the one thing is that you're like, we got to stop really, really well and not have too much in the game plan.
All right, coming up next, we got Marlon Favorite every Friday at 8 a.m. Big Fave kicking us off once again for hour number 2, and then we'll continue to break down LSU, FSU. I feel better, boys. I feel like we solved the fear. From now on, we're switching from that. We'll look at the things we're most excited about, where we think LSU can exploit, where they can gain advantages, and what can maybe be the difference in the game. So go ahead and put those in chat as well, in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat at youtube.com/1045ESPN. Remember, Corn Hub, don't worry. Just the beginning. A lot of football left to be played. More in hour 2.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you will immediately see the difference when you see the building and you walk inside and you're like, oh my God, I've never been to an urgent care this nice. And if it's your first time there, you're going to create that digital profile. If it's your second time there, then you're not. You're just going to sign in on your phone, tap, and you're good to go. And you get in and you get better for life's unexpected moments. For you, your kids, your family, it's a one-stop shop. Make sure your weekend isn't ruined, vacation, whatever the case is, you need to feel better immediately. You need Patient Plus. And remember, all of your Ahmed needs as well. Go to patientplusuc.com.
It is quality care for life's little unexpected moments. They are there in that time when you're stressed. It's a hassle. Maybe it's a little bit later. It happens 6:30 at night when you're trying to get dinner done, you're trying to get everybody ready for bed, for school, whatever, and you got stitches that happen. Well, they are there for you in that moment, just like they're always going to be there for you. Check out that website, patientplusuc.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Good morning, everybody. It is 8 a.m. on Friday, September 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 97. Coming up on OTB, we talked to Big Fave, Marlon Favorite, coming up next. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Hello, somebody. Right now, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome in Super Bowl champ, national champ, Marlon Favorite, number 1 in our hearts, number 99 in the field. Fave, what's up, man?
What's up, baby? Hello, somebody. What's up, Baton Rouge 225? Where you at, baby? It's game time.
That's right, baby. Feeling good. Sunday, LSU, FSU had some football to watch last night. The vibes are immaculate. Fave, tell the people where they can catch you this weekend. Are you and BT running back?
We're running it back this weekend. We'll be in the studio. We'll be on campus. We won't be traveling to Orlando, unfortunately. And before that, we're going to be at Small Sliders, Marrero, on Barataria from 12 to 1 doing our live broadcast inside the trenches. So we're pretty busy, baby. Now come on, Gus after ESPN New Orleans down here, same station. So it's football season, so you know what that means for us. Be busy.
Hey, Fave, when are you going to train up Jake's son? He's playing D-line. He's massive, Fave. The only thing he's missing is some Marlon Favorite pass rush techniques to try and learn.
Yeah, Fave, when you go coach him up?
Pretty soon, but he got the edge already because, you know, his daddy played a little bit of D-line in high school with big hands. So he got the hand part down pat. I just got to work on his footwork.
That's right. I forgot about that. All right, Fave. So give us then the inside the trenches breakdown of what you're expecting out of LSU and FSU Sunday. What happens? Who do you think has an advantage when LSU has the ball?
When LSU has the ball, we're at advantage for the simple fact of the returning starters. You have Emory Jones, who's more experienced now. You have a Will Campbell, who's more experienced now. A solid offensive line in its entirety. Arguably one of the best receiving corps in our country. So you look at it from that perspective. In this Jaden Daniels, like think about it, guys. Last year's game, right? He was scrambling more than them eggs I ate this morning. Right? He was moving. I think now, scrambling my belly too. Hello, somebody. But I think now you have a guy that's comfortable. He wasn't comfortable last year. He had been with that team. I mean, I'm over-exaggerating this. He had only been with the team a few weeks. right?
Yep,
So
yeah.
now you have a guy who played in big time SEC games. Check. B, he has the weapons around him. He has a running back core, a receiving core, and I like the coaching. I like Mike Denbrock. I like West Bank's very own Cortez Hankton, and what they're doing has been phenomenal throughout the year, and then even in spring.
Hey, Big Fave, you're going to be down a couple of bodies on the defensive line. Mason Smith being certainly the biggest one, and he's a game changer. There's no doubt about it. Now, you've got some other guys that are coming over from other places. Jordan Jefferson from West Virginia, Jalen Lee coming over from Florida. Certainly Mekhi Wingo, the All-American, is going to be back as well. But how big of a loss, in your opinion? It's a position that you played, is not having Mason Smith right there in the middle of the defense.
It's a medium concern for me.
Okay.
Just because of the names you mentioned. I think Jalen is going to do well. Big Tank Guillory.
Yeah.
I think we have enough depth to get by, right? Mason, he's itching. I think we're all itching to see him. He got hurt in this game last year, set out the whole season. All the preseason accolades, preseason All-American, preseason All-SEC. He's that guy, and I can't wait to see it. Talking to him on the sideline last for the alumni practice, we learned a lot. We exchanged some technique and stuff like that. He's good to go. I didn't get a chance to work with him personally, but working with Guillory, working with a couple of those guys in the off season over that elite, really puts them in a position. I see guys who are ready to roll. So think about it like this, Hester. I'll put it in perspective for both of y'all. Charles Alexander goes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to step in. Big Chuck.
Big Chuck.
It's like that. The D-line was still intact, right? You still had me. You still had Glenn. You still had Ricky Jean Francois. That's how I look at it with Mason Smith not playing this game. You still have a capable D-line. You have guys on the interior, not to mention on the edge, which pretty sure we'll get into that in a second. But on the interior line, I think the depth is all right.
Well, and yeah, so then do you have any great insight on the edge? I mean, I think Savion Jones is going to be a great run defender as kind of that Ollie Gay strong side edge. But who's going to win that pass rushing battle? Is it Braden Swinson? Do you have any great read on that?
I think Ovi. I don't
okay,
know his last name.
Ovi Agofu from Texas.
Yeah, I spoke with him when he first got down here. We talked. I think he has the technique and the ability on 3rd and 15 plus to get after the quarterback. Now, you mentioned Savion Jones on the run stop. I talked to Jack Marucci on the sideline last week at the alumni deal. He puts him in the mindset, and this just was what I was thinking. He's not as big, but attitude-wise, height and size and run-stopping ability, he puts you in the mindset of Tyson Jackson, our teammate. From the River Parish, big boy Tyson played exceptionally well on the run. But if y'all remember this, I think, Hester, your true junior year, me and Tyson's redshirt junior year.
Yeah, we're no redshirt over here, Fade.
Okay,
Chill
relax.
out.
No
relax.
Let me say, Hester, I want to ask you about that. Did you start on special teams our freshman year?
I started fullback, Big Fave. Hold on now.
Wow, look at it.
Oh, no. Wait, you started fullback our freshman year?
Yeah, game number 4 or 5. My first start was between the hedges, and a lot of things happened that day.
Fave, how hard is it to start at fullback? We're in the trenches where you actually got to develop physically to get ready. That's like walking in and starting to like receiver or something, dude. It's not that hard. You just got to be athletic.
Hey, athletic it is. Because Sean Jordan was strong, but boy, Hester was athletic. But let me tell you something, though. Hester, that's cool how he came in, because Hester ain't coming in summer with us. Hester got there like August 1st.
Oh, that's actually crazy. That's crazy.
I got there July 1st.
And then you ended up playing. That's okay. Yeah. That's pretty insane. That should have been something that you couldn't come back from. All right, Fave. So give us the read then. Who do you think wins the game on Sunday?
Oh, we win the game. I think we are a touchdown and maybe a field goal better than them. But I'm not going to undermine Jordan's ability to make big-time plays. Florida State, we got to look at it from this perspective. We're going to Orlando, right? We basically have 2 Heisman candidates going at it. This is a top 10 matchup. So I look at it from that perspective, and then I look at how at each position I think we have the edge. That's how we do it, right? Quarterback. I think we have a slight edge. All right, receiving core, we got that. D-line, that's probably like a little even matchup. See, like stuff like that, cornerback, they may have it. You look at it from that perspective, and the majority wins. I think we have more capable playmakers at more positions than they do, so that gives us that 7 to 10 point advantage. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Hey, Faith, I do want to ask you one more question about a certain player, and that is Harold Perkins, because I know you were on with Mario a couple of weeks ago, and you like to see him on the edge almost full time. Now, I'll disagree with you there because, Faith, as a running back, if I'm blocking Harold Perkins, and a lot of times he's going to be on a back or a tight end, not always going to be on a tackle, it terrified me when someone, let's look at Lawrence Timmons from the Steelers or Patrick Willis from the 49, whoever it was, if they came through the A-gap, I was terrified because you had a three-way go, right? And I had to cover so much space. You could run through me, around me, either side. But if you were coming off the edge, I'm like, oh, we're good because I know I can shut the inside completely down just by my alignment. You have to either bull rush me or go to the outside. So I take one of those things away. Now, Harold Perkins, we know, can start in the middle, walk to the edge. He can still do those things. But when you have a linebacker who knows what he's doing and you have like that double-A mug look that every offense hates because you can do so many different things, I think that gives you more headaches. Why do you like him better on the edge full time?
I like him everywhere full time. You know, we would have him on the edge. We would move him to the middle. We would move him to the weak edge. He is that player. I would call him like a Taysom Hill of the defense.
Okay.
Switch arm and knife on defense. Harold Perkins can hurt you from multiple angles. What worries me about putting him at the middle linebacker position is the middle linebacker's responsibility. So last year we had a Harold Perkins that wasn't doing a lot of thinking and just blitzing. This year he's going to have to think. He's going to have to line the D-line up. He's going to have to communicate with the secondary, and it limits him to just middle pressure. So if we do send a five-man blitz, he's going to do a twist with the nose guards as opposed to doing a twist with the nose guard, the three tech, doing a twist with the. He's to me he was better when you didn't know where he was coming from. Now Mike, I'm picking at the T-Bob. Let's go to the middle. Now when T-Bob checks Mike, Harold Perkins is he's right there. Okay, bam. Now we can set it up because they're going to worry about where is Harold Perkins. If he's set in the middle, that's it. I mean. He could do a twist, what we used to call a knife twist game inside, which mind screws the interior blockers, right? The center, the two guards.
Yeah.
And then Hester, you saying this about you. I remember we moved you to running back, put big old Quentin Johnson at fullback, and now you got that much. You essentially got four guys blocking him on the inside. We had more one-on-one matchups with Harold moving him around. That was my only argument. But I trust Coach Matt House, though. He's a dog, so I think it'll work.
Yeah, last point. I think you have to have Omar Speights be the guy that kind of sets everything up, right? I don't think you want Harold Perkins lining everybody up because of what Big Faye just said there. I think you want his mind free, and you want him worrying about either getting after the quarterback or dropping into coverage. Omar Speights has been there, done that. He's been a first-team Mike linebacker in another conference. He can get the call. He can line you up because I think that is what he's best suited for. And Harold Perkins, like Faye said, you free his mind up and allow him to be someone. Omar Speights being here frees so many different things up for Harold Perkins.
I agree, brother. I really do. We naturally think back to when we played and what worked against Florida. I remember Derek Beck was at the cover Percy Harvin one-on-one the whole game. Well, he was petrified of that T, right? But game play, it worked. Derek handled his business. But the point I'm making is this Harold Perkins, he was just so raw. Like, Hester, that dude don't know nothing about pass rush. He don't know how to do a swim move, probably win the counter rip. He was just out there raw, chop ripping to the ground. Didn't even know what a chop rip was. That Arkansas game, think of how the bad position he put that right tackle in.
Yeah.
That dude could. T-Bob noticed that dude couldn't do nothing. Harold Perkins bent too far to the ground. Right, so offensive linemen don't want to get way down there like that. He rips up his attack. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing that really concerns concerns me about the defense, I know I spoke to y'all a lot about Ashton Stamps. I had some reservations at first with Sage Ryan moving the corner. Mm-hmm. You know, the defensive back, I feel going to be fine. I looked at them against Malik Neighbors and Hilton and Brian and all those guys at the deal. Man, them boys were lock city. You know, the offense won some plays, but the defense, the secondary looked well. I'm concerned about our biggest playmaker being in the best position to make plays. That's the only concern.
There you go. Big Fave at Big Fave 504 Inside the Trenches podcast. Fave,
oh, by the way, Glenn Darcy made way more work.
So,
hey, no way.
So, he did not make more. He did not make more, but it was Glenn Dorsey. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people are like, it's like
you were still out. You were still out. That's right. You remember when Glenn went down at practice? He didn't get hurt, thank God. But boy, when I say the world stopped, it's like the whole
Big Fave.
practice stopped, the crowd stopped.
Big Fave, I don't know if you remember this. I think we were juniors, maybe sophomores. I think his junior year. They had to kick him out of practice because we couldn't block him and we couldn't get a playoff.
Wow.
That was junior year. That was T-Bob's.
T-Bob wasn't there yet.
I wasn't there yet.
Yeah, he wasn't there yet.
I remember that.
Jimbo's like, get 72 out of there. We're trying to get a playoff.
That's right. That's
right.
Yep.
Block coming from.
Boy, that was good old days. Just a raw. What we talking about, Putt? Just a raw defensive. Like Putt wasn't super fast. He wasn't super strong, but boy, that dude, we call him the grave digger. Boy, he had that kind of club that was a monster.
Yep.
So yeah, they don't make him like that no more, boy. I tell you.
No, he was on my. We did a little legendary college football player countdown list thing for the volume, and he was my choice.
Yeah,
I feel like he's kind of forgotten nationally.
Fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Hey, Big Fave, thank you so much, bro. Tell about everything they can find you.
Big Fave 504 on Instagram and Twitter. And y'all make sure y'all go ahead and download all them songs on Apple Music. Big Fave on Apple Music, baby. Gorilla, y'all said that Hester song right there.
Hell yeah, bro. All right, Fave, we'll catch you next Friday.
Talk next Friday, baby. Hello.
Hello.
Where do you think Big Fave's going right now?
I guess probably going to train.
Probably.
Maybe? Or maybe like, I don't know, it's game day, though.
Oh, it's true.
For high school, so maybe not. Probably going to go eat.
Smalls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to Smalls early just to get a little sample, probably. Although, I mean, I know he's got his son, actually. I think he just signed with Northwestern State to be a punter. So he might be heading up to Natchitoches a bunch here coming up pretty soon, too.
That's true. All right, when we get back, more LSU, FSU. We're switching it now to the things we're most excited about. We're going to hear from you. Get in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, youtube.com/1045ESPN. And we got more coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Son, join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com and my pick on LSU Florida State. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people. What you gonna do?
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Survive says, man, love you too with Big Fave, Radio Gold. Hell yeah, I'll be back every Friday this year, 8 a.m., breaking down the matchup in the trenches, as well as the matchup at a whole. Shout out Big Fave. All right. I know I want to get to things that you're most looking forward to Saturday. I had something else I wanted to mention, but it slipped my brain. It's okay. Maybe it was Prime Talk. I don't really care about talking about Prime right now. Oh no, I did want to get to
the Logan Paul drink.
Yeah. Wow. Do you know about that because you're boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured that. I feel like I've got a little bit of it through like streamer/internet osmosis. Yeah. I saw Baby Gronk yelling at me about it on Instagram or something the other day while telling me that Donald Trump was his uncle. I don't know.
Ooh.
What?
I don't know that I follow Baby Gronk anymore.
Damn, you bailed on our boy like that, dude? That was an in-studio guest that we set up.
There's just a lot there for a little bit.
Since that Chris Long soundbite, he's really fell off. Baby Gronk.
Well,
love Chris Long.
I don't know. Still popping. You ain't got haters.
Chris Long going to be on Inside the NFL now on the CW. I think Ryan Clark's hosting that.
Yeah, I heard about
the
that.
NFL's on the CW?
Yeah. CW's trying to get into the sports world, obviously, with the Live Golf and with the ACC.
Well, you should, because
Inside
live
the
sports are the only
NFL,
thing people care about.
back in the day, it was on HBO. Like, as a youth, I waited for that to come on. Lynn Dawson, the old Chiefs legend, was on it, and they had, God, it was so good. So good.
As a youth.
As a ute.
Ladapec says, why didn't Dorsey dominate in the NFL to step up that big? Didn't they always have him playing a nose instead of a three?
He was maybe the best three technique in the last 35 years of college football, and they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put you as a zero shade over the center. That's not where he was good.
In both spots, right?
Yeah.
Both in Kansas City and in San Francisco.
Yeah.
What?
That
seems so
I don't know.
Astronomically dumb.
Yeah, and why do you draft him into a 3-4 defense? He's
That's
a
what I'm
4-3
saying.
defensive tackle. So
It's like Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's a three tech. Now Aaron Donald, you can. I'm not saying he can't win as a nose, but if you want to maximize him, he's a three tech. It's crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't. Never really made sense. And then, they kind of played Tyson Jackson in the same situation. He's like a 4-3 defensive end. You put
they
him
got him like
as a 3-4 end. It's like.
Okay. Either way, LSU, FSU this Sunday. We talked about maybe where your concerns were, and we alleviated those concerns. Let's pump some freaking sunshine. What do we feel best about? Why is LSU going to win this game? For me, it's very easy. It's not even necessarily a matchup. It's the fact that for all the improvement of Florida State from last year, in the year, to this year, a lot of that improvement was with the faces that we already saw play in this game. We saw Johnny Wilson in this game. We saw Jared Verse in this game. They both played well in this game. Travis Benson didn't play well, but he played in this game. LSU is something different entirely.
Yep.
Where you didn't even have the guys that will be having some of the biggest effect on Sunday did not play last year. And so that is a way bigger difference in players improving. It's just like all of a sudden you go from no Harold Perkins to adding Harold Perkins. It's like adding even better than the top. That's like adding an all-pro. Like adding an all-pro defender, like top 10 guy in the entire league to your roster all of a sudden. That does not happen. Will Campbell. Now that's a bit more of the kind of different, more Florida State-esque improvement, but it's so drastic when you look at him grading at a 40-something last year to what I expect to see on Sunday. That's like a whole new player. Emory Jones is a literal new player. Mason Taylor stuck. It's so yes, Florida State got better, but LSU got better and had guys that didn't even factor in last year that are going to be key, crucial roles this year. And that makes me feel really good about this game.
I completely piggyback. That's going to be my point. You have a different Will Campbell. You actually have an Emory Jones, like T-Bob mentioned. All the new that you have. And I know, even I'm getting tired of me talking about Omar Speights, but I just want you to know what kind of player he was at Oregon State, because a lot of y'all are not staying up and watching Pac-12 after dark. Even if you wanted to find the USC game, you couldn't. You literally could not find it unless you were that one person that had a login for that one cable provider that nobody's ever heard of. He is a first-team all-conference linebacker that was a position of need for you. Not only was it a need for you, but it allows you to do so many things with your best defensive player, Harold Perkins. So I cannot wait to see how that plays out. That's one of the things that Florida State has not seen yet. We could continue. They hadn't seen a Mason Taylor that is somebody that grew and grew and grew. They saw a Mason Taylor that struggled in this game, and all of us would have struggled. His first game out of the gates, and he is kind of being a feature in this game. Look at what he was by the time you got to the Alabama game, catching that touchdown, catching the 2-point conversion, never had a doubt. So you saw this version of LSU, but not in its final form. And I feel like LSU saw the final form of Florida State way more than you've seen LSU's final form. And so that's what gives me hope and gets me excited about this game is now they get to see the young Tigers, the old Cubs, now start to become true grown-ass Tigers.
Now, if I want to play devil's advocate, Florida's going to have some new faces as well. And guys like Keon Coleman went to right. Maybe most importantly, Fintrell Cypress, who's going to be like a top 10 corner that transferred in. But even Cypress, I don't think comes to a level of a Perkins. And I don't think Coleman comes to a level of the improvement of the tackles there or an Omar Speights. So even with the new faces from Florida State, I don't think they're as impactful as the new faces for LSU.
It's a great point. They've done a lot, and they return the second most production in college football. So, look, this is a very veteran team. We all understand that. But when you look at what LSU returns, they also return like that same amount of veteran presence on their team. But like that's like not with it counting the young guys, like just counting some of the older players, and then the guys you added through the portal are veteran players, like Deuce Chestnut and those guys. They have been through the fire with their team, and so there's going to be a lot of veteran football in the field. It's going to be so much cleaner than it was a year ago. Last year's game, it was chaotic and it was fun. It was dirty as hell.
Garbage.
I mean, if you go back and you watch it, that was a poorly played football game from both teams.
It was, Gus Johnson had a call last night that blew my mind when Nebraska scores that first touchdown on the throwback where there's fumble, the third touchdown. He called it a chicken salad of a play. And it that doesn't make sense, but it actually makes perfect sense. It's one of those calls where you can't explain why it works, but you're like, yeah, that was a chicken salad play. Last year was a chicken salad game. Between LSU and FSU. This is going to be something much more akin to like a beautifully done steak, perfectly medium rare, with absolutely like delicious sides and tasty red wine to wash it all down. That call last night was so good though. Chicken salad. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we'll continue to talk about what we're most excited about, what makes you feel most confident come Sunday night LSU FSU. Keep them coming in the chat. Congrats to our guy, John Harrington, getting married tomorrow. Shout out, dude. Been together nearly 9 years, tying the knot, meaning he's going to take in, hopefully, a top 10 LSU win his first full day as a married man.
Be a nice way to start it off.
Yeah, maybe even start off on a honeymoon. Maybe travel in the morning and you get to where you're going by the game time, and so you can drink in a delicious marg or Mai Tai, maybe toes in the sand or something. That'd be pretty sick.
Do you remember the first major sporting event when you got married?
No, because I remember the first thing I did was fly to New Zealand and go to Matamata and go visit the Shire. It was awesome.
Yeah, I had
a beer in the Green Dragon.
Yeah, I did not have New Zealand money. Balling on a budget. Got married in college.
Yeah, no. You think I paid for that? No.
I remember Mark Teixeira got traded from the Rangers to the Braves.
Tight.
Yeah. Didn't really work out for either party.
No, did not. Well, I don't remember to share on the Braves at all. To your point.
Exactly. Then he got traded for Casey Kochman.
I love how people remember events in their lives with sporting events because they remember certain things that happen in sports.
Mario not only remembers every event in his life with a sporting event, but then he can specifically tell you how it relates to his life specifically, like what exactly was going on at that moment.
He relates every story that you tell him. He finds a way to make it about himself and where he was in that moment and what he was doing and what that meant to his life.
What was making you emotional the other day? What chapter was closing?
That was the College Game Day song.
Yeah.
It was a big part of his youth, he said.
Man, leave me alone. It was a theme song about Saturdays for 16 years.
I enjoyed the College Game Day song as well.
He's sad.
Oh, now we get Lainey Wilson, though.
Yep.
I do like the Lainey Wilson.
Do you hate Louisiana? We finally get some Louisiana flavor into the song.
Yeah, bro. All right, when we get back, more to
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Look, man, I love the service department over there at All-Star Toyota. Tommy Wagasback and the crew's going to get you right. They got a lot of great customer service. First off, the text updates are excellent throughout, right? Where they keep you abreast of the situation. They respond immediately. They don't do any work without you giving the approval, so you don't show up and you're like, hey, we did here's $5K bill. No, hell no. Okay, so you are, again, kept abreast of everything throughout the process. And then they'll actually even drive you home after you drop off the car and pick you back up. It's just customer service every single step along the way. And great car service as well. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Go customize your vehicle today. Now, that does not mean that you have to just continue to add things. Honestly, if you want to take things away, you can do that as well. So you're customizing. I don't need that. I don't want that, but I do want this. However you want it. You can get that done like the Murdered Out Mini, the T-Bob drives, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele returns. We're previewing LSU Florida State. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Now the fuss is there from not being there on a confusing morning week. Impair my tribal lunar speak. And of course you can't become if you only say what you would have done. So I missed a million miles of fun. I know it's up for me.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
One thing we didn't talk about last night, both environments top-notch. Shout out Minnesota, shout out Utah. Some of the kind of underappreciated, really just flexing on why college football is fun, because it has the feeling of some of those like European soccer stadiums at time where you can you may not watch them on a weekly basis, you may not think about them all that often, but when you see them, the stands are packed, everybody's wearing the colors, the vibes are immaculate. It was and whoever that Florida player was that on Snapchat before the game snapped Little Ass Stadium, well,
yeah,
Little Ass Stadium packed a big ass beating.
Yeah, Rice Eccles is only 51,000, but they average over 100% attendance. They actually average 101.2, so they oversell and have standing room only every game last year.
I can't watch these
every game.
Highlights. Get these corner
I'm sorry. All right, can I do a story, because I want to do this before we get to 9 o'clock so the New Orleans audience can hear this. Okay.
Yes,
so South Alabama is taking on Tulane. It's going to be in New Orleans tomorrow. It's going to be a great matchup. I mean, 2 really good Group of 5 teams. Tulane, the standard of the Group of 5. South Alabama, Kane Womack, 10-3 last year. go on the road. God,
We don't say Womack on this show. We'll call him Kane Gordon.
Why?
Put the Womack on him. Injury turn.
Oh.
It was a bit of a reach. My bad. I'm sorry. I interrupted the show for that.
So they go to the Rose Bowl last year, fall just short against UCLA, but they beat some really good teams. It's a program that's on the rise. Kane Womack will not be there very much longer because I just think that's the way that his career is going. But South Alabama had a special uniform for this matchup tee against Tulane, and it's Mardi Gras themed. And so you and I go to the Senior Bowl every single year, and we hear, because they find out we're from Louisiana, and they let us know when we get there, while we're there, and when we're leaving, that Mardi Gras started in Mobile. They like to tell us that. And on the back of this helmet, it says Home of Mardi Gras for South Alabama with a Mardi Gras logo on the side of the helmet
I like
as
that
well.
Mardi Gras coat of arms on the side.
How about the pettiness, which I love college football pettiness. How about that? As they head to New Orleans, they have the date of when Mardi Gras started in Mobile and Home of Mardi Gras on their helmet.
I love it. And I love it from a petty perspective, but also like I celebrate both Mobile and New Orleans Mardi Gras. I know I'm in the minority here, but ever since that wise old bartender at the hotel told me, no, it's like, Mobile's the mother and New Orleans is the father. I was like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Sure. Yes. Like it both can be good. I think both are good. But I do love South Alabama being confident enough to say, okay, Tulane, look, yeah, you may have won the Cotton Bowl last year, beat USC 11-2, all that stuff, but we still going to take a shot. We're feeling good about what we're bringing to Yeoman Stadium.
I mean, you and I know the South Alabama program pretty well after going there the last couple of years. I mean, they got great facilities. How about the Sun Belt? I mean, all these teams they got, I mean, certainly Louisiana Lafayette has had their day. Troy last year was 12-2. South Alabama was 10-3 a year ago. I mean, it's a hell of a conference.
I wonder where Coastal's going to be post
I do not have high hopes for them.
No.
I'm going to be honest with you. Georgia State was
Georgia State's a sneaky good program.
Somewhat better. James Madison's a great program. Coastal was 9-4 last year. Marshall was 9-4, beat Notre Dame last year. App State beat Texas A&M last year. So the Sun Belt has some real juice. So I'm excited.
Shout out Andre Sam, by the way.
I'm very excited.
Double-digit tackles against Notre Dame.
Very excited for this matchup.
Side note before you get back to LSU, things that we're excited about. TCU should wear their whites tomorrow. Make Colorado wear black uniforms in Dallas. They will die. And I am not even joking. I'm not exaggerating. These people have been playing in the mountains. It ain't hot at all up there.
That's actually a good point.
Make them come to the Dallas Heat where it's already brutal and they'll already be swimming and dying, and then make them wear black in pregame. I've seen it. App State had to do it here in Baton Rouge, however long ago, over a decade ago, and they were dead. They were done in warm-ups. Make Colorado wear their blacks. They'll be miserable. Anyway.
Ooh, I like that. That, again, pettiness. We are here for all the pettiness.
See you in the game before it was played. God, money line. Corn hub, damn it. All right. Things we're excited about for Sunday. What we got? Who wants to go? Take the mic. Take the initiative. Somebody take the ball.
Fine, I'll go. I'm excited to watch Malik Neighbors this season, and specifically this first game. This could be like a revenge spot for him. Muffed the 2 punts last year. I honestly, he gets a lot of love here and nationally, but I still think he's a little underrated. He's, in my opinion, by far the best receiver on the team. He can play himself into being a first-round pick, and like I said, after what he did last year against FSU, I think he's going to have a big game.
Yeah, I mean, he probably thinks of himself as a Marvin Harrison Jr. caliber talent, but you're right. Nobody really around the country does, even though he does get a lot of respect.
He should have been the featured guy last year, not Keyshawn Butte. Now he'll get an opportunity.
I mean, he ends up being it. But yes, but we should have known him from the jump. Yeah, and you were forcing ball to Keyshawn. That won't exist this year. Everybody knows their role much clearer and better coming out of camp.
And he's a very diverse player. You saw the jet sweep against Purdue. I think LSU can kind of use him in more ways.
I agree. And Aaron Anderson's going to be running that jet sweep.
Yeah. Hey, gosh, how excited are we to see him? Speaking of things we're looking forward to.
True.
Someone that gives you that dynamic in the return game. And, look, I know we're putting a lot of pressure on him, and so I'm still going to be holding my breath on that first punt just because of the pressure we've probably put on him. But last year, I mean, it was such a hindrance for you. That was such a phase that you were just so bad and never could get to where it was just okay. Never could just get to middle of the row special teams unit. Like, you couldn't get there. And I don't think you had the ability to because of where you were and how you started. And it cost you games last year. I mean, one game for sure it cost you. In the Tennessee game, you probably were going to lose that game. But the way it started and just time and time again, it's like, man, this cost you. You have to fix this. And so they have wholesale changes with the coaching staff and the personnel out there on the field. So special teams, war daddies, let's go.
Taylor, you got anything that excites you about Sunday?
Yeah, and to kind of, piggyback off of what both of y'all said, like the returning production, the experience, but I want to highlight one area in particular. This offensive line, you return all 5 starters from the end of the year last year. You've heard Brian Kelly say it all offseason. He goes, look, a week before the game, I had no idea who my starting 5 are going to be on the offensive line.
Yeah.
And it showed in that game. I mean, you talked about Will Campbell grading out at a 40. Like, really no one had that great of a game. You had Garrett Dellinger playing center, so he was playing out of position. Look, for someone who's been out there practicing, this offensive line has the ability to be really, really good this year. Everyone wants to talk about the LSU defensive line. They have not gotten the better, at least on a consistent basis, of that LSU offensive line. They've held their own. They've looked even better at times in fall camp. That was my surprise of fall camp, was how good this offensive line looked. It was a big issue in this game last year. If they can play up to their potential, that could really help.
Agreed. I agree. So that's kind of my.
I don't think, to Taylor's point though, T, I don't think that the rest of the country, the rest of the SEC, whoever we're throwing in there, knows how good this offensive line can be and has been in camp. Like, I mean, I don't have Phil Steele. I think it's like 23rd offensive line in the country. They're better
for
than
LSU.
That. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like most groups, like PFF had a top 10 in the country. So I feel like some publications at least are giving them their just due.
But
they did have Florida State. It was like 8-6, so not a big deal. But they had Florida State barely ahead.
It's got the potential to be one of the best in the country, best in the SEC, like that kind of category. Like, I truly think it does. When you go across the board, you return everybody. Now, you lose Anthony Bradford, but you replace him with someone who was a starter. So you technically return 5 starting guys. And we talk about Will Campbell and his development because we should, where he was at that game last year. But Emory Jones, like, I thought he was a guard. Did y'all think he was a guard? I thought he was going to be a guard in college. And all of a sudden, we look up game 2, he's out there at right tackle. I'm like, oh, man, does this feel like a panic kind of move? And then he's out there balling. I'm like, no, this is something that is actually going to work.
And he may still end up at guard for portions of the year, but he'll be better for right tackle.
He's being pushed by someone that's almost hard to keep off the field. It feels so good to be there in that position up front because it is what it is. LSU does not have this long lineage of just Sunday dudes all over the place on the offensive front. They just don't. Like, we could Whitworth and Peterman, and we could go and Lori Cushenberry now, and we could find some guys. But I'm talking about like every year, like, okay, those 3 guys are going to be in the league. Those 3 guys are going to be in the league. It hasn't been that. This line feels like the first one in a long time where all 5 guys have an opportunity.
Well, Jake, it's not just the starters either that have impressed. And Kelly actually said this week at his Monday press conference. He goes, I think going into week 1, we are 8 or 9 deep across this offensive line. Because, I mean, look at your guys. You got Zalance Hurd. Mason Lunsford's played a lot of games. You keep hearing about DJ Chester. You keep hearing about DJ Chester. And then Bo Bordelon keeps getting a lot of love from Brian Kelly. He mentioned him 2 different times in that Monday press conference. I mean, there's a lot of guys. Marlon Martinez can play both guards. He can play center. Like, you got the versatility, the experience, but also the depth. I mean, I think this offensive line is going to be really good.
I mean, Marlon Martinez is probably your first man up in the interior.
Unless you he's a swing guy for sure.
Then you can put in Lance maybe and bump down Emory. But yeah, and look, coaches have hallmarks. Coaches have positions that they're better developing. Brian Kelly turned out a lot of NFL linemen at Notre Dame, and now he's got the LSU offensive line room in better shape than it's been. And it's a weird timing thing because, like, you randomly have Lance Hurd, Will Campbell, and Emory Jones all coming from in-state, which you normally don't produce. But still, perfect coach to be there to help develop these guys.
Real quick, I know we got to take a break. When Will Campbell got number 7, Brad Davis, they had a video, they put it out there. He's like, hey, coach told you he was going to build this team through the big boys up front. That's how we're going to build this program, build this team. So far, he's kind of hit on that promise.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap up hour 2 of OTB next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company. You know we love Community Steel Co. Jake's going to give you the phone number that you're going to want to call if you need any purlin, tubing,
Slate purling.
steel buildings, right? Let's say you're a roofer, a contractor, whatever you need, you want to go to Community Steel and Gonzalez. Not only because they're local, they're awesome. You're going to deal with a live and local human sales team, not some national BS. But Jake, how about this? The prices are the best.
Yep.
Like it's that simple.
Yep.
And it's actually significantly better.
Yep.
You want Community Steel Company for all of your steel needs. Again, purling, tubing, steel buildings. Community Steel Co. Go see them today.
And they can be that way because they're not, finding it somewhere else and having to get it to Baton Rouge. No, they're here in the Baton Rouge area. They're in Gonzales, and that's how they can do that. You get customer service of people that are actually in the same town as you. When you pick up the phone and you call that number, that's who you're going to talk to. You're going to talk to someone who is right here in the same place as you. So pick up the phone, give them a call today at 225-647-2020.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind. When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan.
Hey, son, join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com and my pick on LSU Florida State. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, I do remind you, DraftKings Sportsbook app. Moneyline didn't hit last night. We guaranteed the Utah dub, so that hit. So overall, an even night, but damn, we were on the edge. Bro, the moneyline was like 250. So, I mean, we're talking, it would have been a pretty good payday. And they outplayed them.
I juiced up. Utah settled at 4, and I juiced it up to 9.5.
Oh, wow. That's how good you were
I
feeling?
felt that good about that game.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Juiced up to 9.5. It got pretty close to that money line number for Nebraska, yeah.
So DraftKings Sportsbook app, if you're signed up for the first time, welcome. Promo code Baton Rouge. You bet $5 on any college football this weekend. You get $200 in bonus bets instantly. $200 in bonus bets instantly. And if you're a returning customer, well, you already know all the parlays, everything you want. Must be 20 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select pairs only. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football. Terms, licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem code 100-GAMBLER, 100-426-2537. All right.
We got games tonight, by the way, if you want to, sprinkle. If you want to
There's kind of like, I'm not too into any of the games tonight.
Well, I'm looking at the slate, and I get it. Central Michigan at Michigan State. Louisville at Georgia Tech. Although it's going to be a neutral site game in Atlanta, technically, because it's not in their stadium. But Missouri State at Kansas. Stanford at Hawaii.
I want to see Troy Taylor.
Okay.
I want to see Troy Taylor.
What about the battle for Miami?
I want to see Miami lose because I'm a Mario Cristobal
Which Miami?
hater. Miami, Florida.
Okay.
I want Miami of Ohio to win.
Okay.
What I wanted to mention here real quick, Jake, is congratulations to you. Big day for you yesterday. As not only did the Dolphins pay a fullback $17 million, but Mike Allstott retweeted you on Instagram. I don't know how well you call it. He regrammed you.
He did, and he gave me a follow.
Oh, and a follow? Wow, look at that, dude.
And Katie made fun of me last night, as she should, because I never fanboy. I let the whole room know.
Hell yeah, you should. You should.
I mean, I got the bobblehead next to me every single day. That's like...
We probably like Mike Allstott more than any show in the country.
I would argue that.
I mean, I had Mike Allstott toys, jerseys, everything growing up.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Emil, who sent me the Dolphins deal, pointing out Mike McDaniel got his juice chick. You know? Just following in the Shanahan footsteps.
And Ingles, I mean, he's not quite there, but he's close. He's a damn good football player. $17 million. Let's go.
All right, Rivers Hughey coming up next. We're going to break down the fight video of the Porta Potties. Keep it
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bone.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $12,000 off MSRP on new 23 Ram 1500 trucks, all with Bayou's 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Officially, it's a fridge full of beer. Unofficially, it's free AC. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Make this summer your backyard party year with Chris's Specialty Foods. Wings, burgers, brisket, steak, and boudin, plus great Cajun side dishes. We do all the prep, and you enjoy laughing with friends and family. Chris's Specialty Foods, Millerville, New Orleans, Prairieville, and Frisco.
Everybody loves Chris's authentic Cajun meat.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast office products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Friday, September 1st. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 97. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? It is Friday, and unlike Matt Flynn, Rivers decided to rejoin the show. Football season is here.
Wait, he's not coming at all?
No, he will be back. But you
He
both
missed like a
missed
month.
both missed like a month straight.
Okay.
You came at one point, but then Jake was out at the last time you came.
We kept trading off.
Yeah. But anyway, we're excited to have you back. Champagne shenanigans, getting around, about to pop the bottle. I was going to say, obviously, or who's Mississippi State got this weekend?
Southeastern Louisiana.
Oh, that's right.
Ooh, Taylor.
My alma mater.
Whoa.
Okay, Taylor.
Rivalry game here.
Line up. How are we feeling? What's the state hive saying? We excited for a little Arnett action? A little Will Rogers in the new O?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. This will be the first time we really see him really coach, so I'm excited.
All you gotta say is
everyone's acting like this is like Christmas, like seeing him like finally coach. I don't know if I'm that excited, but I think we'll be okay this weekend.
It's weird because, we saw Arnett coach a bowl game to a win.
A really good team, too, yeah.
I think, though, I want to see Barbay. I want to see the new OC. I want to see Kevin Barbay in this offense. I'm a Barbay believer.
I hope Will Rogers throws for, 375.
Me, too, and just shoves it up Aaron Murray's ass.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. No, I do. Yeah, what do you mean? I don't like Will Rogers?
What?
You love Aaron Murray, though.
I love Aaron Murray.
I feel like, am I crazy, or did T-Bob say that Will Rogers, the records were not counting because...
Well, I know Aaron says that a lot.
T-Bob, we all had this conversation. T-Bob tried to defend Aaron.
Look, he had a new love interest, okay? So he had to impress the new love interest in Aaron Murray.
If Rogers only plays 4 years, all record he breaks counts.
Okay.
But if he takes advantage of the COVID year next year, then you have to add an asterisk. That's how I feel about it.
Okay. There's no way, right? Will Rogers has been there for 18 years.
He'll want to leave.
And then also, I would say I still was losing my mind on the episode of Snaps where we ranked SEC quarterbacks, and he put Rogers like 8th or 9th. Like, I kept being like, and then Will Rogers, right?
I called
him. And he kept being like, no. I was like, okay, and then Will Rogers. He just kept saying no.
I called him to like talk about it. He didn't answer. I think he knew.
Hey!
I almost went in. Yeah, one of those.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I mean, football's back. It's great, even though already, I don't know if you've joined me on the Nebraska train, Rivers, but already Nebraska is so painful. Yes. Are you a part of the Corn Hub?
I was not invited into the Corn Hub, but I do remember talk of the Corn Hub.
How are you not invited to the Corn Hub?
I don't
It's like
know.
an open invite. You just show up.
You just show up. You just show up to
You
the
could
hub.
be River Shucky. You know, like, yeah.
We'll workshop that.
Look, we got T-Cobb and Husker.
It
It's
was
hard
like,
to beat
it was
those.
right off the cuff. What's Aaron's Nebraska name?
He doesn't have one. He's not a member. He
Oh,
doesn't
he's
want
not?
to join.
Oh,
No,
he
he's a
doesn't
bum.
want to join.
No, he's a bum. He doesn't believe.
I got what you're saying. I thought you were.
He doesn't believe in the hub.
I thought he was all in.
No. And you know what? I don't got room for any haters. I don't got room for any weaklings who are going to abandon just because of a tough loss yesterday. There's a lot of good there.
Can
Unfortunately.
we really quick look at
much
the
similar
pores?
bad.
Let's look at these pores really quick.
I think you said
Check
the
out-
porn. I was like, Corn Hub? Yeah, that's what we were just talking
What's
about.
happening over there?
What?
Feel
You're
like
saying
you
I
got
got a
a
heavier
feel like you got a
pour?
little bit of a heavy pour.
Oh, my
He didn't
God.
have Rouse's today, I don't think.
No, I'm going to do snaps right after this.
Oh,
What?
but
On a Friday?
Yes, but because, week 1, you got those games last night. We got to talk about them.
hey, but good
Okay.
job. I heard that Rouse is doing some sort of like $20 off with
yeah.
a code.
Yeah, Saints 20.
We're doing it.
Use the code
We're gonna do it
Saints20. And so if you.
How do you use a code? Okay.
Well, okay, no, because you got to do it through the app or
You do it
online.
through the app.
Okay.
So with Rouse's app, or if you go on Rouse.com, you can make your list online. You set a pickup time. If
Yeah.
you go over $35, you pay the same price you would in store, which is a good deal to begin with. But then to celebrate Saints season, if it's $100 or more and use code Saints20, you get $20 off.
We're gonna make pulled pork. We're gonna go get.
Hell yeah.
Use your
It's a good
code.
idea.
Look,
Good idea.
as many children as we have, the grocery list is always going to be over $100, and so I will take full advantage of that.
Yeah, I think it's maybe up to like 3 times as well that you could do it.
Okay.
So I don't know, but check it out. So really exciting football beginning this week. And can't wait for LSU FSU Sunday. We've been talking about it all day. But I do want to take a break to play maybe my favorite thing that I saw on the internet yesterday. And that was the Morgan Wallen porta potty fight. But as good as just a fight was, to me, it was whoever took the time to put the WWE Jim Ross announcing. I think Twitter told me the majority of the calls coming from actually the Taker Mankind Hell in a Cell, which I just rewatched like a 30-minute retrospective on with Taker Mankind watching it, and it's fascinating. But this is my favorite thing I've seen in years. Jake, you have not seen this video. He has not even seen the porta potty fight video.
Has everybody else in the room seen it?
Yeah, I saw
Taylor,
it.
you have not?
I have
haven't
not
either.
I have not.
Okay, so we
no.
want this
I am
with sound.
shocked.
I know. How you avoid it, I have no idea.
Oof, it is everywhere.
We want this
Yeah, we'll be
with
coaching
but I'm
these-
glad that you're gonna watch it fresh.
Yeah, we coach these flag football practices
that's
late into the
true.
night. You know, I don't get to sleuth on the phone.
Okay, we're going to watch this with sound. All right, hit it.
We said this one was not going to be for the weak at heart. It is not. Once you get in there, there is nowhere to go.
Oh.
When that door is shut and padlocked. And there's a human being in there, and there's a cover. That's it. That's 2. Stop! 2.5. Oh, my God, look at this. Somebody stop the damn match. Enough's enough. My God. For God's sakes. Are you kidding me? Don't tell me. No. 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 That ring is like concrete. My God. What else can be done?
Okay, so that was the first time I had seen it with the commentary.
It's so perfect.
It's so perfect.
It even hits the kick out. It's got like, oh my God! And she slams the door and then gives
There's
her the
a
big
human
boot.
in there.
Yeah, the sound of the body hitting the mat.
I mean, what it is for me is the girl in the white coming back for one last kick.
I mean, just
she's got boots
real,
on, too.
Yeah, a real ruthlessness. Like that straight
She's
punch
like,
she hit her
no.
with too. Straight punch to knock her down.
Well, the sad thing,
boot
this
into
girl,
the door slam.
the girl that falls, that poor girl was just trying to separate them. She got really rolled up in there. She got kicked in the face.
Well, it's like a cartoon. It's like having cartoons. You know,
gotta
when, like,
just stay out of it.
You know when two cartoons are fighting, they just turn into a whirling mass of like dust and punch noises. Like, yeah, if you walk in, you're gonna just get sucked up in it.
This is the best part right here. The poor girl coming out with the pink boots on, and they like fall in. Watch her face. She gets out of here so quickly. Look, she runs out of the
Bro, what would you do if you're stepping out of
in a porta potty
and people start fighting inside of it? But
Do you think that girl fell in?
I don't know. The girl in the romper, though,
Yeah.
like she's about that life. Like she wants
This
all
is not the
smoke.
first fight she has
No,
been
no.
in.
Hell
No.
The confidence
Whoa.
and the accuracy of the punches and just the aggression.
See,
speak to
this
someone who's
girl's
been in
just
that
trying to
before.
like help her get out of the porta potty, and that girl in the white's like, nah, not today. You gonna learn today.
The streets are calling her the romper stomper.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these girls, nobody has come out post video, so I don't know how anyone's feeling, or have they?
Well, she seems to be leaning into the gig because Barstool, because it's the internet, ID'd her.
Of course.
And
ID'd her.
she was
You
basically.
mean they sleuthed enough till they found out who it was?
But she basically had some some kind of like post like, yeah, you know, I did. She even posted like a picture from the concert, like Unforgettable Night.
I did. Well, in her defense, I mean, yeah, she came in there real hot.
Yeah.
But I was telling you before, not to bring the video
Rivers,
down at
Rivers
all.
has like the real story.
So
here.
you can hear it if you watch it without the wrestling commentary at the
Why would
very
you do
end.
that?
Well, I didn't even know that existed until just now. So in the girl who broke in line, who's standing in front of the porta potty to begin with, one of the original fighters.
Yeah.
So she broke in line, and the girl in the pink is like, "No, you're not going to break me," and that's what started the fight. But at the end, you can hear the girl, the original girl who was standing in front of the porta potty. Her daughter was having an anaphylactic episode. So she was trying to get her to the porta potty, and that's why she broke. And so she was trying to, I think, explain that to the original girl, but she just wasn't having it. But the girl in the white was her friend, so she was like defending her.
She did say long story on her story.
Yeah.
She like, quoted the video as like long story, trust me, or something along those lines.
Like that's the kind of girl you want on your team.
There's no doubt.
She could
She's
play
on the
for
squad.
She is immediately on the squad.
She showed more toughness in Florida.
And she waited it out. You know what?
It ain't even questionable.
Florida had,
but you know what? She waited it out. You know what? She let that fight sort of unfold how it did, and then she realized she was needed.
She let it start.
She was
and
needed.
then she decided it was time to end it. And damn, she came in there.
That
Royal Rumble style, dude.
The way she like went back for more when she didn't have to.
The slam door into the kick, even the straight punch though to send her back into the porta potty really connected, and like had some technique behind it. She was doing Kendall Tool boxing class, and she was like, "Bah!" and then hit her with the big
Wait, so
boot.
Barstool has interviewed her or just ID'd her?
ID'd her, and then she on her story said,
"What a great night."
Look, she posted it was an unforgettable night. #romper stomper. From the Morgan Wallen concert. Like, hey. And
That's incredible.
And then Portnoy tweeted, the blonde girl could play for me any day, came in to handle the situation. And she on her story said, I will play for you any day.
She's about to get a job.
And then said it's a long story at Barstool Sports. So she's into it.
Yeah.
I mean, and as long as you avoid legal trouble, the internet seems pretty into her. So good on her.
Yeah. I'm into it. I mean, that was incredible.
And you know what?
It didn't seem like anyone got.
Like it was kind of justified.
It also didn't. I mean, I know that there was a lot happening there, but it didn't look like anyone really got hurt.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, probably shocked.
Yeah,
you know, and like
just a lot of jarring moments.
Yes, but unless that boot connected,
that's true.
I was about to say, if that's a wooden bottom boot, that did not feel great.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Shout out, Romper Stomper, internet legend, Morgan Wallen concert.
I guess that was in Pittsburgh, and MD Cajun said, went to high school in Pittsburgh for 2 years. Tough place, tough attitude. People very unfriendly.
There you go.
People very unfriendly.
There you go. One of those kind of
that is one of the grittiest towns in the country. So
you should get her in. Get her in for an interview.
I'm sure that's what like every show in the country is thinking this morning. So I'll let them go on wherever. All right. That was the Romper Stomper breakdown. This is probably my favorite thing I've seen.
No, I mean, the wrestling commentary. I mean, if you watch it without the wrestling commentary, it's still a good video. You're still like, oh my God, what am I watching? But with the wrestling commentary, oh wow.
It lined up.
Chef's kiss.
So perfect.
She comes in like a Royal Rumble.
With bad intentions.
Just tossing bodies. Just left and right. Pow, pow, pow.
You know what? If she was smart and she was into it, she could really like roll that into a career. You know?
She, no doubt, could capitalize off of this in some way. You know,
I mean, if she was into wrestling.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. She can fight. She seems athletic.
And she seems like, she has the right, I don't know. It was just the way she moved her body. It looked very much like we were watching wrestling.
Very confident.
Yes.
Very confident. Yeah, exactly. And approach, because because wrestlers approach these situations with the confidence of, while this is, physically taxing and very tough and you can't get hurt and all this, and at the end of the day, you're not really punching. It is somewhat scripted. She approached a fight with that confidence that I'm not getting hurt. I'm just going to hurt multiple other people. She nailed it, dude.
Yeah.
Ashley Megan, the wildest part, security guard who did nothing.
That's true.
He said he unties Scrawny's pink top. If you watch the other video.
Yeah, that top was stressing me out.
I was going to say, guys, when I tweeted this video last night, way too many horny comments in the chat about a lack of nipple slipping out. There were 3 or 4 in the thread. I can't believe we didn't see any boobs. I'm like, guys, what? What are we talking about? I mean, I am a little surprised given the nature of that top, but what are we talking about, guys?
Yeah. We're not here for that. We're here for these hands.
What?
No. I'm like,
that did not even. I guess that occurred to me for a moment because that girl's top was. Sketchy.
Yeah.
As far as if you're doing that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, when she put it on, she probably didn't think she was going to have a Royal Rumble.
Sure. She didn't know
she was just going to go to Morgan Wallen concert.
Romper Stomper is such a good name. All right, when we get back, more Off the Bench.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The importance of doing this fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
We're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance shops, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. I think we're rocking and rolling.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele returns. We're previewing LSU Florida State. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Champagne would be tasting a little sweeter. Had the hub taking it home last night.
I really didn't get to watch.
Wait, hold on. Turn on the mic.
Oh, am I on?
You're on now.
I can't tell. It's my headphones. Ugh.
No.
I didn't get to watch a lot of football last night. I was like generally keeping up on Twitter, but so Grant, my son, he had his tonsils out, which was why I was not here last week.
Yeah.
So he's kind of at the tail end of that like recovery. So I've been having to lay in bed with them until they go to sleep, and then by the time I got up, you know, I was tired and whatever.
Yeah, I ignored my family.
Am I?
I'm out.
Am I? Wait, what'd you say?
I ignored my family like once football started.
Oh yeah. Am I wrong? Or was Nebraska doing well?
No, they were very
winning the whole game.
Okay. Because I feel like when I was in the bed, like just scrolling Twitter, like with them, I was like, oh, Nebraska's going to do it. T-Bob's going to be very happy. I had that thought. And then so by the time I got down, they had not, I guess. I didn't see the end.
So even though, again, like you said, it was a much better product, there was a lot of good there. This was
that makes me sad.
losing Northwestern last year. In the end, the song remained the same.
So
crucial errors.
we watched, I mean, the Florida game, Florida-Utah was up on the TV, but we were watching and on the phone.
I caught some of that, but they were just doing so poorly.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I don't care about this.
And so then finally I downloaded an app to my TV and put the Nebraska game on at the end because DirecTV was a whole situation. And so we're watching it in bed, and Memphis is kind of like, Dad, why are you watching this game? And I started telling him about the whole Nebraska. I didn't say Corn Hub, but I started telling him about the whole deal. And I'm like, and Mr. T-Bob like really wants Nebraska to win. And so he had that in his little mind. And when they lost, he goes, Dad, Mr. T-Bob going to be sad.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, but my thought was when I was scrolling,
like, yes, he is.
I was like, mine was kind of the opposite. Is that I was scrolling and I saw Nebraska was doing so well. I was like, oh, T-Bob's going to be so happy. His Corn Hub's doing it.
I felt like I saw the game before it was played, and it felt like
you did. No, you did. You just didn't get to the very end of it.
And then,
God, they should have won.
Yeah, no, I mean they've done an overplay. I mean they outplayed them. They just screwed up in the biggest moments. I mean they held Minnesota 251 total yards. Minnesota had 55 yards.
What happened in the end? What?
55 yards rushing on 25 attempts.
I missed the end.
Turnovers. Fumble, set up the game tying touchdown, and an incredible play. One of the best catches you'll ever see to tie it for Minnesota. And then again, Nebraska's maybe driving to win the game in a field goal and they throw a pick. And they threw a pick at the end of the first half in the 1 yard line. It was like, it was good. Crucially bad error, good, crucially bad error, and it ends up being the difference in the game.
Have y'all talked yet about
Love Minnesota's uniforms though? Did you see those?
I did not. I was really scrolling Twitter. Have y'all talked yet about Spectrum, which is I guess a TV provider? talked about
I saw
that
some of
yet?
this drama. I didn't know what's going on.
I'm gonna be honest.
Jake's dealing with a little bit of it
Yeah,
with DirecTV.
So Spectrum, I don't really know what that is. I'm assuming it's something like DirecTV or some sort of streaming service that where you
Like
get
a cable
sports.
provider.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
where you-
cable. I think it's a Florida cable provider.
Okay, so you get sports. So they waited until the moment of kickoff, and then they cut off ESPN's. They cut Fox. They cut off access to the game.
Yeah.
And then they were basically like, "Sorry, we
Yep.
can't come to a
Yeah.
we can't come
Yeah.
to a
So
place."
for me right now with DirecTV, it's Fox and NBC.
Yeah, but what a calculated move, though.
Yeah.
Like, what a
Oh, I know,
calculated
yeah.
move. They waited until kickoff, and then they
Yeah.
took it
and
off
then
air.
on the screen,
So
on the
people
screen,
are, yeah.
it like tells you like
Uh-huh.
what Rivers is talking about. Like, I kind of apologize. Here's the deal. They're not really willing to negotiate with us. And then it's like, if you want to watch this game, you can go download the Fox app, the Peacock app, whatever. If you want to watch it,
you gotta pay.
Like, don't get mad at us, but.
So yeah, so it's the.
So I didn't realize it was a Florida cable provider. So you're in Florida. You're trying to watch this game.
Oh, it was the Florida-Utah game?
Yes.
Oh, wow. So it was ESPN.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. It was ESPN. Yeah.
I thought you were talking
so,
Nebraska, Minnesota, which was
But
on
this is
Fox.
No. So it
This
was
is
right at the
definitely,
kickoff
though-
of Florida. They took it off.
So that's
Oh,
ESPN
man.
choosing to do that, though.
Yes.
Obviously, to make people mad at Spectrum.
Yes.
Be like, what the hell's going on here?
It was very calculated. But like I saw all these people on Twitter and they're like waiting for kickoff and it happens and then they're like, wait a minute, what's this screen? And it's the screen that you just described.
I mean, figure it out, guys.
It's like that Barstool, or it's like the big cat. Like figure it out.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, what?
Figure it
Like,
out.
it's. I mean, I don't know. I know streaming's kind of the Wild West and everything, and it's getting crazier and crazier, and we just need to consolidate it all once again. But like, I'll tell you one way to get somebody who never wanted. Like, Jake, you've defended DirecTV for years now, and even if ESPN's being the a-holes and DirecTV could lay that out, nobody's gonna care. Yeah. Nobody's gonna keep you if you don't have.
I'm about to make a
them.
switch, though.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. No, that's
yes.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
So like, it's a great play by the content providers in terms of just winning.
Does
the
anybody
argument.
in here have YouTube TV?
But like,
Oh, I do. No, I
Anybody
have
else?
Hulu. I have Hulu.
I had
Sorry.
the free trial for a month and it
Okay,
was awesome.
Taylor, anybody?
I've heard it's pretty good for
I was
football.
gonna say, I have
I'm just trying to
Hulu.
see, are they blacked out or like any
Oh,
channel? Or
no,
they
I
got
heard YouTube
disagreements?
TV is we have Hulu and I think it worked out because we already had it, but I
Yeah.
think YouTube TV is supposed to be really
Well,
good.
the show they had
Yeah.
the NFL Sunday Ticket can be a part of that. So
Yeah, it's worth it.
I think. I mean,
We have
but
had no problems when we switched. Like we were a little nervous, but we haven't had any
pretty
trouble.
soon here, though, there are some rumblings that ESPN wants to go full streaming, maybe to the tune of like over $20 a month or something.
That's tough.
I don't know, though. I know that ESPN financially is a headache for Disney, though. And
Yeah.
Disney may be trying to get out of the ESPN game. There's talk that they might deal with Comcast or they send it all over to Comcast. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that could happen. But
Dang.
ESPN's a bit of a problem.
We
for
just
the
want to
House of
watch
Mouse right
sports.
now.
We just want
I
to
know,
watch
that's what I'm saying.
sports.
Like, that's all I care. Like, and I think that's why it's becoming such a war ground.
And it's not even just a football thing. It's like you have trouble watching the Pelicans. Like it's just a total sports thing. Like we just want to watch.
Well,
sports.
and it comes
Like-
at a time when sports are the only thing that people are watching live anymore. So
Dick Dixon just texted in that YouTube TV is perfect. His words.
Yeah,
I've heard it's really good.
I mean,
yes.
but I would also advocate for Hulu. I've never had any
I
problems with Hulu.
I have Hulu, but not like the cable.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Hulu
I have
Live.
just like, yeah.
Now it's
That's
all
why
getting,
we did the TV because we already used it.
Yeah.
It's all getting more expensive.
Yeah.
You know?
Every month, I feel like we get an email that's like, it's just
Yeah.
$1 more, and
Price
you're not
increase.
thinking about it because you're just like, oh, just $1 more. That's fine.
And you
Peacock just went
we
up.
just suck it
Yeah.
down because I need those sports.
And I have to have
F all
Peacock
of you.
for European soccer. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because everybody has that one thing
Yeah.
that just has, which I guess is kind of the goal. I don't know. But the point is, these cable providers, DirecTVs of the world, they better you got to be careful, dog, because you don't have the leverage here. If you can't provide live sports, then what are people hanging around for except for just what they've been used to doing their entire lives?
All right, I'm making the change. The chat is letting me know I need to make the change. The change is going to be made.
Okay.
See,
Oh,
there you go,
I love
DirecTV.
it. I love it.
It's a
There
big
you
deal.
go,
Been with
DirecTV.
DirecTV
Well,
for a
then you
long
just
time.
don't have to worry about it.
The funny
then you
part is,
just-
I watch YouTube constantly, but I've never once thought about getting YouTube Premium. And I watch
Neither
YouTube
has this
Neither
station.
has this station.
I
Yeah.
watch YouTube all the time. That's kind of the meme on YouTube Premium is that nobody does it. Everybody watches YouTube constantly, but nobody, because I don't know if it goes back to to the creation of YouTube where this should always be free forever, but nobody wants to ever watch it or ever pay for it.
Kind of like Twitter and the blue check.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I did end up breakdown.
I did
and
too.
I bought the blue check.
Oh.
I felt like
But you already have blue check, so it wasn't like a weird thing.
Well, I just felt like I was like, it's actually important for my business. You get the 2-factor authentication, It felt as if they were. I don't know that this is public policy, but I would imagine this is the case. I think they probably, promote.
No, they
the
do.
Blue check
no, they've
posts
said
more.
that.
Okay, yeah, I
no,
figured
they have,
it was.
They have come out and said that.
Yeah,
and you can
exactly.
also monetize if you have a blue check mark. I never had one. I'm just not willing to buy my blue check mark. I'm just not.
Saying.
I don't care. I don't care if you promote my tweets, honestly, because like I don't technically need my tweets to be promoted.
Yeah,
if I was someone who needed
Fair.
to like push content out constantly and cared about that,
yeah,
sure. I don't need that. And so I just not going to pay money. I mean, what would I be paying for at that point?
Yeah, no, nothing. You're not paying for anything.
Edit tweets? Like, I don't care. If I have a typo, then,
Yeah, we lived with typos for years. And the other day, it didn't even work. The one time I wanted to edit tweet, didn't work.
Really?
I was about to throw something through the TV. You know what else like really grinds my gears? I still just loathe the X.com.
Oh, yeah,
it's the dumbest
I'm not calling
rebranding
it
I've
X.
ever heard of in my entire life. It feels so porny and
Well, but
cheap.
I'm not going to call it
and
X.
bad.
I'm going to call it Twitter, and I'm going to say retweet, and I'm not.
Eventually, though, it'll shift. At some point,
Maybe.
it's like Facebook and Meta. Like
I'm not going to call it Meta.
I never will either, but others will, and eventually it will shift. And
Someone
it's gonna
says X
piss
at me,
off.
and I'm not joking. If someone says something about X, I'm going to be like, what? And not even intentionally. Like, if we're just having a natural conversation, an organic conversation, and you reference X, my brain is not going to know what you're talking about.
It's like if Gretchen had like billions of dollars. You know, stop trying to make X happen, Elon. Oh, wait, I can make it happen because I'm richer than all of you. And so he tried to make X.com with PayPal back in the day. That's like it was supposed to be originally back then.
I mean, he can do whatever he wants with it. I'm just going to call it
It
Twitter.
just looks gross, though. Like Twitter
Black,
was good. I like the little bird. Twitter's a good tweet. It was all good.
Did you see
and
all
now
the?
It's like, we're X.com. Ugh.
Did you see all the
Do you have
break?
ear gauges? Get
Did
outta
you see
here.
all the?
I apologize to people with ear gauges, but I judge ear gauges.
Okay, T-Bob obviously has an opinion about ear
hang
gauges.
up on ear gauges. Bad. I
But
apologize.
did you see the breakdown of like how that the X logo was created? I mean, they just basically bought a font and it was just like an X, and then they threw over like the graphic design on it is so poor, and like graphic designers were like, oh,
Everything looks cheap. Everything looks cheap.
Oh no.
Everything looks cheap and just unpleasant.
Like if someone was like, T-Bob, I need you to create the logo for X right now, you literally could have created you could have done the exact same thing that those people did.
I agree with that. I think
It was that simplified. I guess you probably have a little bit more graphic, but I just mean like your average human could have created that.
But the person who did probably got paid a ton of money to do so. I think the other part about it is like at a time when, people are coming at Twitter for being like a little more like, having a little more abrasive bots, like kind of like fight like world star. Like it's just getting a little rowdier. The X.com logo is just kind of leaning into and exacerbating all of that. Sorry, I've been meaning to get this off my chest for a while.
I can't comment
X.com.
because I'm not logged in for some reason. But somebody asked if you could stream 2 devices at once on Hulu, and the answer is yes.
Yeah, and so normally when I watch college football at 10:30, I'll say goodbye to my family, and I'll leave the house and I'll go to the office where I got my badass PC set up, and it's got big dual screen, and I'll open up 5 Hulu windows. And I'll have one on one screen playing the best game, and then I'll have 4 games in the corners of the other, and I'll sit there and I'll mute and unmute based on.
That feels like a lot of work.
I'm like Morgan Freeman
I
in
know,
Batman
I'm like,
Begins.
what's happening?
I'm like Morgan Freeman. I'm watching the whole city, guys. The whole city. Yeah, last night though I just tuned into the Corn Hub mainly.
I'm so sorry. I am.
God, it is what it is, man. It's cool, man. Hey,
First game. Brush it off.
Look, LSU and BK lost first game 2 last year. It means nothing
brush it off.
for the long-term success of Matt Rule. Nebraska's going to be Colorado, and they got 2 crappy games. They're going to be 3-1, but it's one of those games where it's impossible. And it's the same thing with LSU last year. And hopefully it won't be this Sunday, but it's like where you look back and you're like, we had that one. We should have had that one. And processing that and trying to overcome that is tough. It's tough. But I think they will.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just going to let you have this moment. I
know. I think they will. I'm a believer. I'm still a believer. What can you be a believer if you break at the first sign of adversity?
No, absolutely not.
No. I will not go apostate. T-Cobb is here to stay. Scott Frost, no, I never believe in
Wait,
Scott Frost.
what speech am I thinking of? I think it's like the Independence Day when I will not go quietly into the night.
I will not go quietly into that good night without a fight. I might actually need to play that to get hyped up for Sunday. All right, when we get back, more OTB.
OTB, OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Hello, Samantha, dear, I hope you're feeling fine. And it won't be long until I'm with you all the time. But until then, I spend my money up and down on my last dime. Call in Baton Rouge. I'm ready what you put me on through. Gotta send my love down the
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water, they can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor, so you stay right where you need to in casting lines, or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast? All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13.
Son, join me for a Friday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show presented by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com and my pick on LSU Florida State. Hunt Palmer Show 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
That would be the worst. Jake would kill you.
What?
Jake would.
It would be great, though.
Mario said he was so right now we have an interesting situation where we're on in the studio. We keep SC Network on in the studio, and Jake is doing a live hit with EJ Manuel and Chris Doran right now, and so Jake is in the office right there doing a live hit on SC Network. We're watching on the TV studio, and Mario said he was going to go video bomb him and yell "Save the Spanish broadcast."
Oh my God, I almost just spit my drink out.
Which would be a great way to have Jake to never probably want to talk to you ever again.
Oh my God.
I do not think that
That's
would.
incredible, though.
Yeah, I do not think that would. I do not think that would go over well. I too did have the temptation of video bombing.
What if we all just casually started
That's
walking
what I'm saying.
behind
It's
him?
almost it's too good not to because he's right there.
So
He's right there.
I considered it for 0.1 seconds, not gonna lie, because I just had to walk down there to set up Hanny and Jimmy. They're about to go on right after the show.
T-Bob's the only one that could get away with it because he'd be like, "Oh, I forgot something in the office. I gotta go
Or
get it."
he wouldn't even have to say that. T-Bob could get away with it because T-Bob.
I would just
that's
play.
his,
It's like
that's
that's
his
the
deal.
stick. Look, when you act like a clown, you get to do clown things.
There you go.
know what I'm saying? So it's like that's yes.
Yeah, T-Bob did it.
That would be like in keeping with it. That would not fly. I don't think if it was any of y'all. So
Look at Stephen A. trying to bring the cash vibes with those jeans.
His jeans are not really doing it for me, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I gotta shout out my guy Stephen A.
What?
Okay.
I am
yesterday,
shocked that you of all people
I'm
would
about to
say
explain
shout
why.
out my guy Stephen
About to
A.
explain why I like Stephen A.
Do
But
you?
here's what. Oh yeah.
I
Always
didn't know
have.
because he's such a Cowboys
Yeah, but I
troll
enjoy
hater.
it. That is a
Okay,
good little
okay.
stick.
It is a good bit. It's a great bit.
Yesterday they asked him. They said, "Stephen A., who has a better shot of making the Super Bowl, the Cowboys or the Jets?" And my guy Stephen A. said the Dallas
My
Cowboys.
guy.
I mean,
Stephen A.
that makes sense. They're in the NFC. Of course.
Well, that was his reasoning.
Who,
but
okay, how about this? Who has a better chance of making a Super Bowl? Any team in the NFC or the Jets? Any team in the NFC.
look, that was his point.
They don't have
but
to go
look,
through
I
Pat
didn't think he would
Mahomes.
do it. I didn't think he would do
They
it.
don't have to go
So shout out
through
to
Joe
him.
Burrow. They don't have to go through Josh Allen. The NFC is weak as hell. I'm looking forward to Trey Lance, though. QB1.
He's not gonna play.
And, what? Why'd y'all trade for them? What are you, dumb?
So
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know things aren't good for ESPN right now, but is it clear that Stephen A. won the breakup with Skip? I feel like
Yeah.
Skip is struggling.
Right?
And Stephen A. took Shannon from him.
I feel
think
like
yes.
I feel like Skip had something going with Shannon, but then Skip couldn't help himself. He blew it up. He blew it up with the Damar Hamlin situation, and then interrupting Shannon that time. And from the little bit of the new Undisputed that I've seen, while I love the idea, I like
I haven't
Richard
seen that.
Sherman. I don't like Keyshawn on there. Who's the third person?
Michael Irvin.
I like Irvin and Sherman.
you said
on there.
Richard
To your
Sherman?
point, though,
Yeah, but-
I've seen
but
a
I
couple
heard it's-
clips
yeah.
with Skip and Richard Sherman. Sherman's really good on there.
I like him.
Oh,
yes.
Sherman's great.
Sherman's
I would
very
love
good on there.
Sherman
I
and
love
Skip
him.
one-on-one more
Yeah,
than anything
they're
else.
very good
Jay,
together.
Come back on.
Just bringing it. Look, we're very casual.
I would
here,
love
you know?
Skip
We watched
and Sherman to be together just one-on-one. But when I saw all four together, it was
Four people is a hard.
But at the same time, chemistry's hard. It takes years. And that's what sucks for someone like Skip and Shannon is they kind of arrived there, and then now they blew it all up, and you got to start from ground zero. And the early returns on the four of them has not been good. It's just a lot of it's a lot of kind of what this hour is, but by design, this hour is
supposed to be that.
nonsense and talking over each other and whatever. Whereas they're supposed to be like a tightly produced, tick sort of show, and it's just.
Well, I mean, they're big personalities because honestly, the most buttoned up of all of them is probably Richard Sherman, which is hard to think about. But Skip and Michael Irvin, they yell all the time. Keyshawn, he gets a little spicy every now and then as well. So it's like
Keyshawn's just boring to me.
Wait, when you're trying to create when you're trying to create that thing between you, that chemistry, doing it with four people is hard. It's hard to do it with two.
Yeah.
Four is asking a lot.
It's like sex. I mean,
Just like with sex with four people, yes.
It's chemistry. It's the same exact thing. I mean,
You add four people to the mix. It's just
it's going to be a lot more problems, a lot more insecurities, a lot more competition, a lot more ego at play, a lot more trying to outperform one another. It's just. I mean, some foursomes can handle
What'd I
it,
miss?
but not all can. You looked great.
You looked great.
Did you make fun of Florida on the SEC network?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I did.
They tried to make it into a Florida State LSU bit, and you just made fun of Florida the entire time?
I did. And then the final shot was he was asking, and God, CD's so nice, but he's like, is Will Campbell going to get to wear number 7? I was like, no, he's going to get to wear a patch. But
You're an idiot, CD?
I said,
He's a
but the best part about it is he's only going to be the only number 66 on the field. They won't have 2 of them.
Oh, wow. What he said.
I did see that on
He
Twitter
said too
last
soon.
night. He said too soon.
God, that made me mad.
Well, because it's the most inexcusable of them.
Yes.
Can't happen. It's the one that reflects worst on Billy Napier on a night where you could point out 10 to 15 things that reflect poorly on Billy Napier and his Napoleonic armada of assistants, which, shout out PG, that's a great line. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and close out the show with a little Ask the Bench.
OTB, OT.
K to Z window coverings. Easy as 1, 2, 3. You go to KTZBlinds.com and you take
K2Z.
advantage. Exactly. There's something there. Kind of been workshopping it through the week. But look, you need any custom blind shutters, you want automatic blinds to drop down for like your outdoor kitchen, any of this, all of this, you want K to Z. Okay, Jake, you're about to have them come out to your house.
Yeah, we are, actually, because we got the outdoor space, and I believe that is taking place early next week. They're going to come out to the house, and they're going to put what we've been talking about, right? If it's not just interior, now it certainly can be, but exterior, that screen shade system that I've been telling you about, motorized, you go out there, you press the button, it drops, blocks the UV rays, keeps the bugs out as well. And if you want to go outside, you want to enjoy that outdoor space that you spent so much time on perfecting, right? Well, you need this system. And when you get it, it's going to be incredibly easy for you. They're going to come out. They're going to do all the work. Go to the website today, k2zblinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Was a humid day, barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for a Football Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Phil Steele returns. We're previewing LSU Florida State. Join us 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
But first, tears for fear.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Time for some Ask the Bench. Before you get to that, do remind you go to AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com, where, look, the bottom line is that AgTemp for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs. They got your back. It's service to the highest degree. Look at the online reviews. Understand that even the time when I paid AgTemp to replace a light bulb thinking I had an electrical problem, my wife wasn't even mad because she was so blown away with the customers. She was a little mad. But she was still on the side, like...
Not at them, at you.
And she didn't even know we did advertisements for them. And she was like, that's like the best customer service I've ever had. So take advantage of it. Service to the highest degree. They say it. Believe it. AgTemp Baton Rouge, AgTempBR.com. Figure it out for yourself. Any AC, heat, and electrical needs. We love AgTemp. Take control of your comfort zone.
Before you get to Ask the Bench, so we have a little time.
Yeah.
I just want to read this first sentence.
we
So
actually have time. How about that?
we were in the break, we were talking about the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, which was a documentary that came out in 2009 about this family in West Virginia. And
Hell yeah.
Anyways, I just want to read you like the first 3 sentences from the Wikipedia description.
Yeah, tell people. This is what I was trying
The
to explain.
film, I can't believe, first of all, I can't believe I'm the first person that has known what this is.
I know.
But the film follows the White family over the course of a year in their daily life through first-person interviews. The film mentions the details of the death of the patriarch Donald Ray D. Ray White, as well as his rise to stardom as one of the most famous mountain dancers of his time.
Yep.
The illness of his widow, Bertie Mae White, is documented throughout the course of the film. And then it goes on to say that she is known as the Miracle Woman because of her lifelong dedication to raising abandoned children.
I mean, bro,
But,
tell me that ain't some country
Who
stuff right there,
who
bro.
are the other famous mountain dancers?
That's some Appalachian. That's that. That's that Appalachian country right there.
What are we talking about
If
here?
you're a mountain
that movie
dancer?
is the documentary is incredible. If you've never seen it,
he
like,
dances with like Hank back in the day and stuff.
mountain
Maybe
dancer.
Hank the Third. I can't remember which.
I want to
Hank.
get some real West Virginia
They're like-
stories from
basically it's like
Jimbo
a-
Fisher and Nick Saban.
I think Hank the Third's in there.
That's where they're both from.
basically the family is like a bunch of coal miners and like they're in the city, but they run the city.
But they're criminals.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I would watch it.
Ask the bench. If LSU gets out of this game with a win, what's the next game that LSU has you biting your nails? That's a good question. I gotta look at the schedule, Jake. Let me know what.
All right,
you think.
I'll go
I'm
down the
sure
list. You tell me where to stop.
Is it not in 3 weeks?
Let's go. Florida State. So we're talking about that game. You get the
Yeah.
victory. Grambling at home. At Mississippi State.
In Starkville.
11
I've seen
a.m.
it go-
kickoff.
I've seen it go awry before.
You have.
I wouldn't say biting my nails. So.
Arkansas.
No.
At Mississippi.
No.
At Mizzou.
No.
Hey, Missouri did really well last
Auburn.
night.
They
though.
did okay. They're pretty good.
Auburn at home.
No. It's
Army.
gonna be Alabama. It's gonna be Alabama.
Okay. Army
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Bye week. Nope.
No.
Bye
No.
week?
It's at
Alabama.
Alabama.
Real
obviously.
nail biter there.
Yeah.
But it's actually a pretty
That's
salient point.
3 out of
made that,
4
like,
games on the road in the SEC though. At State, Arkansas, at Ole Miss, at Mizzou.
It's not easy. I'm not trying to be dismissive.
Yeah.
Because anything can go awry. I'm just saying if they're as good as we're all saying they should be, it shouldn't be a problem.
You're not like nervous going into
No,
the game.
you
You
should
recognize that
win the
something could
game.
happen, but you're not like
Jake, where are you watching the game Sunday?
It's a great question. I'm still getting used to being able to actually watch the game and be at home and be around the family because I had to travel for so long and go to all these games. And so I don't know. I'll be in the living room probably with my crew until Katie kicks me out because I'm yelling too much and going to the bedroom.
Ask the bench, what's more likely, Mizzou finishing first in the East or Florida finishing last? No, Florida's finishing last. I mean, that's
T-Bob and I at Media Day put Florida 7th in the East.
Well, and Jake convinced me, so I'm glad that he did because it feels like a great pick right now. Where did you end up voting, Ribs? Did you end up filling out your media ballot?
I think I did the same thing for you
Okay,
guys, but
there we go,
I didn't believe it. I just did it because I knew it would make
Hell
Do you
I knew
believe
it would
it?
make you happy.
Do you believe it after watching last
I
night?
might believe it. I do think it was the first game, just like the Corn Hub. It's the first game.
Yeah, but it was the first game without
T-Bob gave this
Utah.
whole-
Corn Hub looked good.
I know, but
Utah
T-Bob
was
gave
missing
this.
their 3 best players too.
Yeah.
T-Bob gave this whole speech about it's just the first game, and so if we're gonna give Nebraska that excuse,
The only thing contextually, Florida was awful.
that's
Nebraska
true.
was
They made a
awful
lot of
in
mistakes.
Moments.
100%.
Florida was awful everywhere in everything. Ask the bench, does T-Bob actually make it into work on Monday if LSU wins? And is Jake ready to carry the show even if he does show up? I'll say this. I don't know that many know this, but I was so depressed last year after the loss that I didn't sleep. I just kept drinking, and I came in here with 0 hours of sleep.
I remember.
And and we did a show.
Some of us do remember.
He
I'm gonna
got
make
through
it. So I'm going to make it.
T-Bob's ability
However,
to find a way
power through.
it's remarkable.
It is remarkable.
So yeah, he'll be
Cannon.
here.
If you want to hoot with the Owls at night, you got to soar with the Eagles during the day.
That's why when we're like at SEC Media Days or Senior Bowl or whatever, and there's always a night that goes
like this
south a
last
little
one.
bit, and T-Bob's not there, and we've got like 10 minutes, I'm never that nervous.
Which
I
is
know.
crazy because I lucked out this year.
I know, but you always
But
do.
it always
you
does. Yeah, I know,
always,
you know,
you have
fingers
never
crossed.
disappointed me. You
Knock on
always
wood.
pull it
You
together.
do. Do I have 10
Knock
minutes
on
of monologue
wood.
ready to go just in case? Yes. But he always finds a way.
Oh man, okay. Ask the bench, do you prefer Disney World or Universal Studios? Since the game's in Orlando, Sam.
I like Universal.
I think Disney World when you're younger, Universal when you get a bit
that's
older.
fair. That's fair. I love both, but
Never been to either.
Here's what I would say, LSU. It's time for revenge. Okay. Last year, what Florida State did to you was embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
Now is the time for you to exact your to step on their throat, and when they beg you to stop hitting them, keep doing so. Make them bleed. Make them doubt. Make Jordan Travis look like Clay Travis. Okay, this is your opportunity this weekend. It's been a look, man. You're gonna eat punches. There's gonna be adverse moments, but you can't be scared. It's what we talked about with the baseball team, the basketball team, go out there, beat that ass Sunday night, and start what could be a championship year for the Tigers. Go Tigers, let's go. Beat the Noles.
OT.
Go to Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Again, you're going to get punched in the mouth. How are you going to respond when you taste blood? I feel good about the veteran leadership of this team. I feel good about the veteran leadership of Rejuve Me. You need any HRT, maybe you want to fight mood and memory problems, insomnia, energy, sexual dysfunction. It's all there for you at Rejuve Me Medical. What are you waiting for? Go get your free consultation today. Let them customize a plan for you. RejuveMeMedical.com.
yeah, so many different things they can help you with. But again, you can't get to the bottom line. You can't get to the bottom of it until you go see them and get the consultation set up, which you can do on the website. So find that full list that we tell you about every single day of things they can help you with, because you might be dealing with one of those, or maybe it is something else. But whatever it is, they will find the reason why at Rejuve Me. Go to RejuveMeMedical.com. It's right there. Again, top right corner of the website, RejuveMeMedical.com.